Good morning. Lovely to have you here with us at Sewing Quarter this morning. My name's Amy Burrows and I'm with you for the whole morning. We've got a great couple of shows planned for you with Janis Hobbs and also myself going through some different fabrics and books on today's show. So I'll talk you through what we've got coming up across the next 4 hours. In the 8 o'clock show, I'm joined by Janis and we are looking at a kid's dressmaking. So we're making some really cute dungarees in some denim print fabrics, which are really, really lovely and would make a great outfit for a little boy or a little girl. Really perfect for that. Then at 9 o'clock, we've got the Joel Dewberry Jamboree, lots of chitterers, which is going to be looking at all different fabrics and also some books. Then at 10 o'clock, Janis is back. We've got Sew Organised. We're looking at a pattern with lots of different organisational options for your sewing room. And then at 11 o'clock is Fantasy Bedroom, and we've got that mystical unicorn, rainbow, bright fabric back, which is perfect for a children's bedroom or perhaps a playroom. We've got a sneak peek here, actually. You can see on our lovely bunting, really sort of playful fabric that we're looking at in that last hour at 11 o'clock. So in today's hour, this first one here, we're looking at these dungarees, and I'll start by just talking you through the fabrics. So you can see these are the ones we're making. How lovely are they? So sweet. They've got these lovely little cuffed bottoms on the end of the trousers. They're little pockets on the back, which are really sweet. And then you can see here we've got this facing that we're going to be talking you through, all of that process, and your poppers on the top there. So the pattern for this is in the book. We're selling those separately today. So it's a children's nursery book with all different projects for children's nursery. So whether that's clothes or perhaps toys, little accessories that you could have for storage options, all different things here in the home sewn nursery book. So there's lots of patterns in the back of this, which you can take out. There's a whole pocket here of your patterns, which just makes things really straightforward and easy. And then these dungarees and the hat here, that you can see are both taken from this. It's a brand new book. It's a premiere of this one on the show today. So great to start looking at it and looking at the projects inside. So we've got 4 options for the dungarees today for your fabric bundles. So we'll go through really quickly so you can just have a look at what's there, what ones perhaps take your fancy. And you're getting ½ metre of 2 fabrics in each of these bundles. So I'll start with, this is the one that we've got on the dungarees here. So this is a denim print from Art Gallery. So it's 100% cotton. You've still got that softness and lightness there with the daisy print, which is really lovely. And then we've paired that there with a lovely red and white dot on a pale blue background. So you can see those just working really beautifully together. So that's the first one. Then your second one, this one's my favourite, and this is a premiere of this fabric on the show today. So I'll show you these. I think this just has a really vintagey feel to it, really cute, and just a nice feminine touch with this one. So the songbirds we've never seen on the show before. You can see that there in that lovely avocado green on an ivory background. Little birds all singing through there with your different leaves and petals, really sweet. Again, ½ metre of that, and that's paired with another denim print from Art Gallery, where you've got your flowers again. If I turn it that way, you can see more clearly, and your swirly, lovely print there with the white and the blue. So the next one we've got, this is the nectarine bundle, so I'll show you that first. This one here, this is the only one out of all of these which is an 80% cotton, 20% polyester. So this is a lovely peachy colour, really soft. And you can see there's sort of a linear texture coming through that one. And that's been paired with your street life, which is perfect for children. You've got your bright lime green there, and then you've got a park. So lots of trees and paths and your little birds tweeting. Really lovely for a children's outfit. And then the last one, which we're just about to work with Janis, you've got these lovely strawberries. So a bright yellow fabric here with your pink strawberries, and then your sort of minty greens as well there. And that's paired with this lovely scarlet fabric, which is a scarlet brick denim. This is a slightly thicker fabric, actually. It feels slightly, it's more sturdy. It's got a bit more durability to it. And again, that cross-hatching there, that detail, so you can see those paired together. So 4 different fabric options. What are we making? We're making dungarees, these lovely ones here. I'm going to take them with me. I'll also take the hat, just so we can have a look at it. Producer Paul said I can wear the hat. I don't think I'm going to wear the hat. Maybe later. I'll see how we go. And I'll take the book over with me. Oh, hello, Janis. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You okay? You're looking good. Looking good. Looking good.
How are we doing?
Good morning, everybody.
So we're doing dungarees this morning?
Yeah, we're doing dungarees this morning, and it's been great fun making them.
Have you enjoyed doing it?
It's lovely. Yeah, it's great making them. And the fabrics, again, wonderful. Can't be beaten on the fabrics. I did like making the denim ones.
These ones.
But this is a really nice fabric as well.
Oh,
it's like Amy said, it's a lot thicker and more sturdy, but they're just such lovely colours. And
you've got a bit more durability in this one, I think, haven't you? It is definitely slightly thicker.
It's easy to sew with. Exactly the same.
Still not as tough as a denim. It's, you know, you've got that heavy denim. That's sometimes difficult to work with.
No, it's not so tough as that at all. But it's just in between, isn't it? In between the cotton and the denim, like jeans, and
like
it's
a
really
cross
nice.
between the two.
Yeah, it is.
So,
it's nice.
There's half a metre of both of these in the bundles today, so 2 half a metres, which is enough to make. This one here is a 0 to 6 month old. Size, isn't it, that you've made, which is also what we're doing again now.
But
there's enough fabric in there and the pattern in the book to go all the way up to 18 months.
Yes, I think it's 18 months. And then there's enough fabric as well to make the hat as well in the contrast
the lovely
fabric.
sun hat. So you've got here, you can see in the book, they're easy peasy sun hat. So that's that one there, which you can see. So you've got enough fabric in that bundle to make the hat and the dungarees. She looks quite happy about the hat.
She's gorgeous, isn't she?
Really cute. And then we've got, where's our other one here? This is the dungarees that we're looking at today.
Yeah.
Really lovely. So yeah, all the way, if you wanted to sort of scale those up for all the way up, 1 to 2 years, this one says actually. We can go all the way up to 1 to 2 years.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
So we're going to start with, where do we start?
And it was ever so easy to cut around the pattern, or you can trace it so you don't ruin the patterns, and then you just cut them out. And like, there's not hardly any pieces to it, so it's quite easy. And what you have is 3 pockets, and these are the back. So if you see there, I've already done the 2 pockets and joined the back. So
they're sweet, aren't they? Just on the little,
so that's
on the bottom of the dungarees
at the moment with pockets. So because you can put an applique on if you want, but we're not on these, and we didn't do them on the applique on the others as well because of the pattern on the fabric, so you didn't need to do
a bit too busy.
Yeah,
but with your pockets, you've still got that detail, and you've also got it peeping through in all these lovely little bits. I don't know if you can see here. Really, they're really detailed. They've got, you know, you've got
a facing on the inside,
a facing there,
and that's what you put the.
And also here at the top,
and that's your facing at the top. So they're really nice.
Really lovely. Okay, so how do we get started then?
What we start off is these are the 2 fronts, and what I've actually done is you zigzag the seams, or of course if you've got an overlock or serger, you can overlock the edges.
Okay.
So I've actually zigzagged them. So what I'm going to do first of all is do a 5/8 seam straight up the inside of the leg.
Okay.
So if we do that first on the 5/8.
Because the great thing about dungarees is obviously it's just one piece, isn't it? You know, you've not got to make a top and a bottom. No, once you put this together, it's all in one.
And children in dungarees look lovely, don't they?
Yeah, adults in dungarees, I quite like. I think they look quite fashionable.
They have come back all of a sudden,
they're quite trendy.
So we're just going to do this seam, 5/8 all the way around. Just go careful around the curve. So 5/8.
Are you using a seam ripper there?
Yeah, I always do, just to guide. Because I used to do that with my finger, and with the seam ripper, it does everything, you see, because it holds fabric down. You can manoeuvre it like that if you know to bring the seams together. So that's why I always use the seam ripper.
What a great tip. I've never seen anybody do that.
And of course, with the seam ripper, you've got the tool to undo if you go wrong.
Yes.
And it also cuts, so you're not searching for your scissors either to cut it. So
you've got
your seam ripper there as well. So I always use my seam ripper. So that's
so quickly you start to see the shape already.
Yeah.
Once you've just put those 2 pieces together.
So then what you do, I'm going to use my left-hand scissors this morning, even though I've got my rose gold, my favourites.
Everyone's like a magpie to the rose gold scissors at Sewing Court. Everybody loves them, but we're going to go for your left-handers.
So what you have to do now is, on that curve, you have to clip into it so that it flattens out when you're pressing it.
So just so we can open that out.
That's it. So if we just clip it without going out into the stitching too much, only on the curve.
Every sort of centimetre or so?
Yeah, about a centimetre. That's it. That's that, and then we just open it out, and we can press it open at this stage, or you can finger press it. But I'll give it a quick press.
Have a quick press.
Yeah,
so in the bundle, you're getting enough fabric to do the dungarees and the hat as well, if you wanted to do both. And all your details are then in the book. So we're looking at, obviously, the patterns come out of the book that we're using.
That's it.
And then all your step-by-step instructions. Did you find it easy to follow?
Ever so easy to follow, yeah. What they don't show you, though, is how to lay your pattern on the fabric. But as long as you've got your pattern going the same way as you're cutting the trousers out, you'll be fine.
It'll be okay.
So just be aware
of that. This particular one isn't really a directional fabric anyway, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But on the actual daisy one, you have to make sure
you want to make sure
the same way. So that's ready to sew. But what we have to do now is do the pockets. So the first thing I do is press over 1/4 of an inch.
Yeah.
So that's your pocket cut out. So we press over 1/4 of an inch to the outside, and then you have a fold line. But then what we'll do...
You're just doing this by eye?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might have done that the wrong way around. Hang on a second, let me just double check that, guys, sorry. That's it. That's it, it's that way. That's it.
So 2 folds in the top of that pocket.
2 folds, so that you've got the 1/4, and then what we're going to do is sew a 5/8 down there, 5/8 down there, and then turn it, and then it will turn in the side seam. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is you do your 1/4 of an inch to the wrong side, fold it back, and there is a fold line mark on the actual pattern piece, so you just
can
fold
follow
it
that,
to that, and you'll follow it to that. That's it. So then, I must admit though, on this one, I actually did a 1/4 of an inch to the actual end of the foot, because it's only a small pocket. Normally you would do 5/8 on adults, but on this one, I actually decided to.
Malfunction.
Hang on. I actually decided to do a 1/4 of an inch seam.
Just because they're slightly smaller, obviously.
Because they're smaller pockets for the child.
Well, Janice just quickly fixes that. We'll just show you these, the different bundles that we've got. So at the moment, my favourite one's in the lead, that one that's a premiere on today's show. So you can see that one. I think that's going to pop up on your screen. No, he's just grabbing it. So you've got the floating flowers all coming through on that denim print from Art Gallery, which is there. You can see on that navy denim. And then paired with that is the really gorgeous songbird, which is in a green and an ivory. Lovely for summer, a really sort of spring-like summer feel. So Rosebud Falls and the songbird, NKGC25, and that's 1/2 metre of both of those, which is enough to make the dungarees all the way up to the largest size, which is for 2 years, up to sort of 1 to 2 year olds. Then the next one we've got is the one that we're using right now. So we've got that lovely sort of scarlety, cross-hatched, lovely red that we're using for the main body of the dungarees, which has got a real texture to it, and it's slightly thicker than those other fabrics. It's definitely got a bit more durability and strength. And then we've paired that with the strawberries, the yellow strawberries, with pink and mint on there, which we're using for the facing. And you just see that peeping through, and it's lovely to add that extra detail. KWGC93. Again, 2.5 metres of both of those. Then the next one I'm going to show, this one is actually the lowest in stock. We've got the least of this one, so if you do like the look of this one, just make sure you add it to your basket and check it all the way out right through to the end, so you make sure that you've got it. So you've got the daisy print there on the Art Gallery fabric, the denim one. And then you've also got that paired with the pin dots, which is a lovely pale blue with your reds and white polka dot on that there. And this is the one we've actually got here, which I can show you. Here they are. I think it's so different seeing a fabric in use, isn't it, compared to just sort of an image when you can see them. I just think that's so lovely. I could see that even with like a little white top underneath. You don't have to. Really gorgeous. And then you can see that that print coming through. Lovely for a holiday on the beach or. And like we were saying, it's one thing. You haven't got to worry about, teaming up a top and a bottoms or a skirt, and it's just one. Yeah.
And then you can just whip it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Practical. It's important to be practical.
Or the diapers, or whatever you want to call them. So now with the pockets.
So you stitch just 1/4 of an inch
down, and all I'm going to do now is trim the corners off. So
lovely.
Trim the corners and then turn it.
Ah, okay.
And it turns in the actual... Now, this is a thicker fabric, and what I have to do here is just pull out the corners.
Yeah.
Just quickly. I'll just do that to neaten this up.
It's just giving it that professional finish by adding that fold, isn't it? Rather than it just being, you know, just a cut edge.
Yes,
by putting that
edge.
in.
It's
it looks much smarter.
So just pull that out if you can. That's it. That's that. So then what we need to do is just top stitch that down.
Yeah.
So we'll just do that quickly. Again, machine foot.
Okay.
Needle in and just go down the top stitch.
The thing is as well, if you work with a regular denim, obviously it's not great for the summer either because it's going to be really hot and thick.
Yeah.
But sometimes it puts people off work as well because it's quite heavy to work with, isn't it? And it's tricky, you know, it requires...
This is quite easy to work with. You still have to think of it being a bit thick though, and the cottons have to be that slightly bit thicker.
Yeah.
So...
We're also using with this today, we've got these a denim thread pack. So there are 5 different threads in here which work perfectly with all your different shades of denim. But also what's lovely is you've got a really beautiful gold and a bronze thread there, which if I just bring in a denim, you can see how they work really beautifully together and just add that little extra professional finish.
And they are slightly thicker cottons, so it's...
So you're getting 3 100s, is that right? 3 100s and 2 200s. So 700 metres of thread in total. You can see those different colours there. You've got 3 different shades of your navies. And they've got, we were saying earlier, sort of an iridescent sheen to them. You can see actually, you said you top stitched on the hat. If I show you here.
With the blue.
You can just see that really gorgeous on the sun hat. When it catches the light, that thread there's just got almost a metallic feel to it. Really lovely. So the projects that we're working on this morning are from the book. You're getting 20 projects in here, the home sewn nursery. So clothes, toys, furnishings, all different things as you work through. And it's divided into 4 little sections there. So you've got clothes and shoes, then you've got an out and about section. Then you've got toys and games and nursery accessories. So all different things in there. And this lovely sort of file at the back, I don't know if you can see, with all of your patterns to store in there. And there's loads in here. You said you traced it, didn't you? So you could reuse them.
So you can reuse them and reuse them.
But they're nice and colourful. They're not sort of your dull... oh, this is exactly the pocket we're working on here.
That's the pocket we're working on.
Here it is, as if by magic. So you can see there, this is that fold line that we're working on at the moment. So it's giving you that guide of where you create that and how to create the pocket. And then we're going to go through and look at the leg cuffs and all the different sections. So that's the Home Sewn Nursery book, SEMZ 79. And that's $14.95. So
the choice in there is amazing.
Did you have free reign of what you were going to make from the book? Did you get to choose?
Not really. No, they knew what they wanted, but I thought I'm going to put the hat on.
just because I can.
Because I can. So all I'm doing now is actually just going to press the sides in of the pockets.
Okay. Oh, we've just had a message in from Patricia. Thanks, Patricia. It's a question for Janice.
Hello, Patricia.
Do we need a different needle for this? Because obviously it's not a thick denim, but you were saying this is slightly thicker.
I haven't again changed the needle from just a normal size.
Just your regular needle?
Just a regular needle, yeah.
So nice and easy, you haven't got any extra work to do?
No, not at all. So that's that done, so that's your little pocket.
Okay.
So if I can then, so what we do then, sorry Amy.
That's okay, we're doing a little dance today.
we play like musical... What is this? So what you do, you just place the pocket where you want. So what I actually do is, there's no markings, you see, on this pattern. There's no notches. There's nothing. It's quite good, really. So all I do is make sure that little folded crease is in the middle.
So you've got the freedom to...
That's it.
So you could even, if you wanted to add more pockets,
yeah.
You know, if you wanted to put 2, like we've got on the back, there's nothing to stop you doing that.
Nothing to stop you. So then all we're going to do is pin the pocket in the corners, and then we're going to top stitch it down. And I'm hoping Elaine's watching today. Because,
Elaine?
Yeah, well, what happened with Elaine, it was quite funny. When I was on the show last week with John, she called in on the show. And John said, do you know an Elaine from the West Midlands? And I didn't. Well, the next day, I've had to go and get my little granddaughter some organza for the frozen outfit I'm making. And who should tap me on the shoulder in this shop?
Elaine
from the West Midlands. This woman who drung the show the day before.
Really?
Yeah. So I
What a
said,
small
hello,
world.
Elaine. I said, I'll be on
you're watching,
today.
Elaine.
And I'm hoping you're watching. So
She recognised you.
She recognised me.
You're going to have fan mail soon, Janis.
I know. She said, you've made my day.
Oh.
Fancy seeing you here.
Oh,
But
that's
out
lovely.
of all the people to meet.
Absolutely. But you're
So-
obviously in a sewing shop, so I suppose that whittles it down a little
yes,
bit.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sew the pocket on. I've actually pinned it, it's ready for top stitching. And we're just going to go in about 1/8 of an inch as a top stitch just round the
around the
outside
edge.
because it's small pockets.
Yeah.
Again, we need to go that bit smaller. So if we just go now.
Really, these pockets, I mean, obviously they're usable. You can put things in them.
Yeah.
But truth be told, they're more just for a look, aren't they?
They are
than
really,
anything
aren't
else.
they, than putting anything in them.
You could fit a couple of sweets in there.
I suppose you can give them a little 10 pence or something for
Yeah.
spending. Then
Tea
again,
for a
no,
tuck
not
shop.
6 months normally, no.
No, probably not.
More of a tissue for when the baby's
That sounds about right.
running the nose or whatever. Oh, push, go through, that's it. That's it, done. So again, that's it.
So this is that bronzy
Nice.
thread that we're using.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see here on the machine, from that Gooseman thread pack, the denim pack. Well, you can see there actually, the details are on the bottom of your screen, but you can see that metallic sort of sheen to it, which is really lovely, just catches the light.
So all I'm going to do now is just take the pins out. Sorry.
No, don't worry.
And then what I'd normally do, if I've got a needle, which I haven't
What do we
got
need?
here.
A needle. Here we are. Where's
And
the
needle.
sewing kit?
Sorry, there's the one in there.
As if I'm... Here we go. So if you haven't ordered anything from Sewing Quarter before, there's one just in
Thank
there.
you.
And it's the first time perhaps you've ever seen the show, or perhaps you've not bought anything before and you're thinking something takes your fancy today. If the first time you spend over £10, we send you this, which is a Sewing Quarter sewing kit. It's worth £14.95. And it's filled with all little goodies that you can take with you. You've got a sort of a thread collection there, 12 different colours. You've got a seam ripper, the needles which we've just taken out, scissors, a tape measure, some pins and buttons and safety pins. So perfect for your travels. Perhaps if you're going, on a train or a plane, not with the scissors, or just if you're in the car and you're waiting to pick someone up and you'd like to take a project with you and have something to work on, then this is great to just sort of throw in your bag and to have everything there that you need. So if you bought one of the bundles today, the fabric bundles, then and it's your first order, then we'd send you one of these.
I think there's
Present from us to you.
I think there's quite a selection of needles in there, but those are too small for me to put the arm
Oh,
through.
let's have a look.
So not to worry.
We can get a needle.
What I normally do is I actually thread those with a needle when I've top stitched, bring the thread to the back and then tie the two ends off together, and that's what I normally do.
Okay.
So that's what I'll do
should
when
we
we
just-
get the needle. So if we just carry on.
Okay.
So once you've done the pocket and the threads have gone and etc.
Well, pretend that happened. I can't believe we're on a sewing show where I haven't got a needle here to give you. That's ridiculous.
My fault.
It's coming, it's coming.
So what we're going to do now is just sew up the sides,
Okay.
the 5/8. So if I just put a quick pin in there
Lovely.
and there. So you're just attaching the front to the back and sewing up the actual side seams.
So just right sides together.
Yeah. That's right.
Was the front exactly the same process in terms of just assembling it and cutting around the curve and all of that?
Exactly the same. Yeah, exactly the same. But the front's the one with the one pocket on the front, and then the back's with the
two,
bum.
which you can
So
see here.
again, I place the pocket 7.5 inches up on the back. That's the actual front. But if you look on the back,
then
there's
on the
two
back.
little pockets.
Oh.
So I actually went in 2 inches, and I went up 7.5 inches from the bottom of the leg.
Really
So
lovely.
that's what I did. So then if I just sew down these side seams quickly.
While Janis is just going to sew, she's just literally going to assemble that, aren't you? Just all the way down. What was the seam allowance on that?
5/8.
5/8.
5/8.
Okay.
All 5/8.
I'm just going to head over to the other side, show you the fabric, then we can pop back over. So let's have a look. So we'll start with the Park Life one first. This is the Nectarine bundle. So you've got a really lovely peachy fabric here, and then if I just open this out. So these are coming in 1/2 metres, so you get 2 1/2 metres, obviously 1 metre in total. I'll show you just so you get an idea of the size. We've bundled them together, so you know that they're going to work really well together tonally in terms of those colours and everything. And then if you want to add the book, obviously for the patterns and for those project ideas, this particular fabric is perfect for the dungarees. So this is a really light, really great for summer, 100% cotton again, really just light and breezy and easy, which we like. And that's paired with the Street Life one. Let's fold that in half. And I'll show you this. This is really cute. So you've got all little trees here in your darker greens and your reds. Let's open it out a little bit. And then you've got sort of fountains and the gates and the paths all working through the fabric there. The only thing we're missing, I don't think there are any people in the park. It's an empty park before it's opened. So really lovely. Just that detail there as well. This would look really beautiful on the dungarees for that peeping through. Or you could actually do the dungarees themselves out of this. I'd be tempted to do the main body of the dungarees with these and just have them facing in that nectarine colour. So then next up, I'll show you my favourite one. This is a premiere of this fabric on the show today. So it's paired with, we've got the Art Gallery denim print fabric. So it's not a denim, it's 100% cotton. It's printed onto the denim, really popular collection. So this one's $14.95. You can see here you've got these lovely flowers and spirals here, sort of rosebuds falling on that denim, which is really beautiful. And then we've got this one paired with, this is the Songbird one that's new today on the show. I'm going to open this up so you can see a little bit more. Here we are. Really lovely with all your little birds. That detail there. It's got quite a vintagey feel to it, but really spring-like. Brand new today on the show. So 1/2 metre of that one, 1/2 metre of the Rosebud Falls denim, NKGC 25. So the next one. So the one we've got least in stock of is the one that you've just seen in the dungarees that Janis had already made, which is the daisies with the dot print. So I'll show you the denim first, again from Art Gallery. Again, that lovely rich denim, sort of classic denim colour really in a navy, but it's got a sort of a silvery sheen to it as well. Really lovely when it catches the light. And paired with those classic daisies in your classic sort of daisy colours, your whites and your yellows. And then the facing that we did on the dungarees was with this polka dot cotton. So on a baby blue there, with your red and white dots all the way through the fabric, working through in diagonal lines. And you can see as well what Janis has managed to make a hat as well out of that bundle. So out of the 2 1/2 metres, you've got the dungarees and the hat, both of those projects in the book and the patterns. A really lovely sun hat for the beach. And those dungarees would also be perfect for a holiday. So we've done those 3 fabric bundles. Then the last one we've got is the one that we're working with at the moment, which is the Scarlet and Strawberry. So we'll head back over and see where Janis is up to. Well, you can see that one here anyway.
So all I've done, actually just sewn the seams and turned it round. And okay. I've actually, while Amy's been talking, he's just finished my pockets off.
Okay. Oh, you found a needle. We got you a needle. Good.
Pulled it through to the other side and just tied the 2 ends off, and that finishes the top stitching. Because with top stitching, you never normally do a reverse stitch on it because it can make it look a bit scruffy. So, and that's what you do. You just tidy it off the ends. So the next thing is the facings. So these are our facings. So
I'm just going to hold this up, how quickly. So it's in probably 20 minutes. I know we didn't do the cutting out, but already you've got that main shape. You can totally see there the body of the dungaree, how that's going to come over on your poppers and create that shape there with the pocket on the front and those lovely 2 little cute ones on the back.
Pockets on the back.
And your legs.
And the legs.
So it's just really, really quick.
Really quick. So facings. So the facings go on the front and the back. So this is where you get the finish on the front of the neckline and the back, and you actually have the contrast fabric on the inside, so that it gives us a bit of
just a bit of detail, doesn't it?
Yes,
if I undo this popper, you can see just peeking through. This is what we're looking at now, the facing on the top of the dungaree. So when you open it up, you've got that there. And you can see this is just what we're about to do.
And that's what we're about to do, is the zigzagging on the end.
Okay.
So you cut your facings out and you actually apply the fusible interfacing.
Okay.
So once you've
just
done
that
then you just press it on with a damp cloth to make it stick. It always really has to be a damp cloth as well.
Okay. Otherwise,
if it's just a dry iron, it won't always stick. So always make sure. I always use a handkerchief or something like that.
Damp, just so it adheres properly.
Yeah. So the first thing we have to do, Amy, is I have to
move again.
We have to press a 1/4 of an inch seam.
Let me take those.
Sorry.
That's okay.
We have to press a 1/4 of an inch seam. See, that one's coming off a bit. On the actual curve, on the both curves.
Okay.
So, and that's where we then do the zigzag. So if we just do it a 1/4 of an inch in.
So you just sort of do that as you move the iron round.
As we're moving the iron round, yeah.
We've had a couple of messages in, actually.
Or you can tack it down.
Anne, hello Anne, thanks for I love hearing from people. But it's so lovely to know that you're there and you've got questions and things to say. It's nice, isn't it? You feel like there actually are people listening. Anne and Jane, so they both asked, what sizes does the book go up to for the dungarees? So let's find that page. I did put a bookmark in where it is.
2, I think.
So it goes up to 2 years. So the one that we're making is 0 to 6 months. The one on the model here, it says, is 6 to 12 months. But then it also goes all the way up to 1 to 2 years. You can see that just there. 12 months, 1 to 2 years. So you've got 1/2 metre of each fabric. So you can see all those different sort of the pattern details there for your different sizes. And that's a brand new book. We've got a few new things in this hour, actually. Brand new book, brand new fabric. I like that. So that's the Homestone Nursery book. That's just the graphic's just going to pop up on your screen there now. So we're just working our way round here, pressing that.
It's all right. I'm not doing brilliant because normally you'd measure.
You really make me laugh.
You'd measure all this normally, and then you tack it, and then that's how you'd normally do it.
Okay.
But I'm just going to do it a bit hit and miss. So, but I'll correct it on the sheet.
Okay.
So what you have to do then is zigzag round the outside, and what I've done as well is kept that cotton in to give it a nice contrast on the cotton as well.
Okay.
So don't keep changing your cotton. That's what I'm saying to you.
Just keep it all the way through.
Just keep it all the way through, because then you've got like the nice top stitches in the darker colours and that. And once I zigzag this, they'll be able to see.
Okay.
So
I'll just show you here so you can see what Janice was doing there with the iron. There's just folding over. You said a 1/4 of an inch.
1/4 of an inch.
So that's just all the way along. There.
I'll do a bit more when I'm zigzagging it.
But once it's so you're just pressing it to give it that shape, so you know where to follow, aren't you? Really, and then you want to hold it in.
Oh. 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 Hang on, I'm on the wrong stitch here. No, I'm not. I shouldn't be. And a bit.
What's happened there?
I don't know.
Let's do a quick inspection.
So we don't want that, do we? That's not good enough. So, again, with your seam ripper, just undo it without marking the fabric too much.
This is what happens at home. It doesn't always go smoothly, does it? It's a fair reflection. We wouldn't expect you to... You don't need to rush. We can just take our time. There's no rush at all. So if you've just joined us, we're looking at a couple of different fabric bundles this morning. There are 4 different options, and we're using them for dungarees, so you get 1/2 metre of 2 fabrics in every bundle. So this one is the Daisies Denim and the Pin Dot bundle, FWGC 48. And that's $15.95. Then the next one you've got is the one that we're working with right now. So that's the Scarlet Brick, that cross-hatched linear sort of texture fabric, slightly thicker than the others in that denim. And then really sort of cute and playful with that strawberries that we've paired it with for the facing. So the Strawberries Yellow bundle, KWGC 93. Then the next one, this one is my favourite. This is the brand new, the first time we've had that songbird fabric on the show today. That cream sort of ivory background there with the avocado green birds and leaves all printed all over it. And then paired with the Rosebud Falls denim, where you've got those roses and the swirls. Really popular on this hour this morning. So if you've got it in your basket, just make sure you check it out. NKGC 25, and that one's $14.95. And then our last one is that nectarine. So you've got that peachy, lovely peachy colour there, perfect for the summer, paired with that street life park fabric, which is your bright green with your trees and your paths and fountains and gates and lots of detail in that fabric. Again, very playful, very cute, perfect for a children's project. And that one's £16.95. Then if you're after the book, which we've been working with in this hour, it's got 20 different projects in there. We've got the sun hat and the dungarees that we're looking at. Janice is just doing the facing for the dungarees at the moment. But there are all different projects in there, and there are also all your patterns in the back in a file, which you can photocopy or just use directly if you want to. So lots of different things for a nursery or a playroom, toys, clothes, really cute little projects that are be perfect for a grandchild. Or there's nothing nicer, I think. You always remember something that's been given to you as a child that's homemade, don't you?
Yeah.
More so than anything shop bought.
It's true.
Because it's just, it's personal.
It's personal. It's more personal. And I always used to make Amy's clothes, do you know what I mean? Lots of her clothes as well when she was little.
And you're not going to see anyone in the same.
No, and you can make dresses for 7 days, different days of the week and that, and it doesn't have to cost you a lot of money.
No, not at all.
So it's really good.
Can be cost effective, but also just that.
I just need to grab that one for you, Amy.
Doing the same again. But also just that whole feeling of it's something that's personal to you, and you have a memory attached to it, don't you?
Yes,
I think a lot of people actually keep a toy that's been homemade by perhaps a nan or a mum, or a blanket or a quilt or something like that.
I know, I've still got Amy's baby quilt.
Have you?
That was mine.
You would never throw it away, would you? No.
You don't. So you have to really manipulate this bit if it's not tacked. This is a part normally I would tack down to sew.
Okay.
If I've got more time, because it just gets a bit tricky on the curve because there's a lot of curve to it, and you have to manipulate it a bit here. So but once it's done, it looks quite nice. So
yeah, really nice. So it's just that zigzag stitch.
It's the zigzag stitch. So that's it. And this is where you do need your seam for ladies as well. So that's it. So I need to press that out a bit if I can. It's just a bit awkward. That's it. See, it's a bit of a devil.
That's all right.
It's one of them.
So if you're watching today and you've got any questions for Janice, or perhaps you want to look at a certain fabric again, or you just want to let us know what you're making, you can get in contact here with us at Sewing Quarter. There are a couple of different ways. So the first way is if you head to the Sewing Quarter website, and at the top there you can see an icon that says watch. So you just click on that, and then you'll see a live feed of the show. So you can see there Janice just feeding that facing through the machine. As you scroll down underneath, you come across a message to the studio box. So in there you can just say hello, let us know what projects you're up to, any questions you've got. We love to hear from you, and just send that through on there. Or alternatively, you can email, so studio@sewingquarter.com. And send us pictures. I love to see pictures of what people are making. Perhaps if you've got some fabric already, it's great to see what you're up to. Then underneath is almost like a shopping list of the show. So everything from this hour is added to that list underneath. So you can scroll through and add anything to your basket. And as we go through the morning, more products will be added to that. So that's everything from this morning's hour so far.
Sorry.
No, not at all. It's fine.
They're over. So that's your actual zigzagging on the bottom. So if you can see the contrast is a lot better. So the actual contrast to it is quite good. So because that matches what you're doing on here. So
that thread looks really works really well with the scarlet as well. I don't know if you can see there.
It's lovely, isn't it?
It does match really beautifully.
So normally now, again, you'd press that down, but at the moment, what we're going to do is just attach the two facings together at the side seams. So you've got the two curves, which are the top bits.
Yeah.
At the top. So your side seams you're attaching now with a 5/8 seam is that one.
Okay.
And then the other side, which is that one. Okay, so that will then make your facing, and then we just machine down there.
Let me see if I can
Just
turn this one out so we can see. You can see here, this is the bit that we're doing at the moment actually on the dungaree. So if you undo the popper, which we're going to add this sort of button detail and the popper on here, this is the facing that we're working on. So you can see there that zigzag stitch that Janice has just done. And then this is the side section here that we're just working on now, making those armhole sections. So the poppers, which we're going to get to those, aren't we, I think? We've got those as well on the show if you want to add some those sort of snap fastenings. Just really easy and straightforward. They just keeping it nice and easy. So you've got 20 different poppers in there, all different sizes, 20 sets. So depending, on what size you're doing, perhaps if you're making it for a 0 to 6 months, you'd use the smaller ones or scale it up, and obviously you can add those to any of your other projects. So that's the hemline sew-on snap fasteners, OYGQ94, and they're $145, bargain. We've also got some buttons which you might have just seen. So you get those lovely floral buttons that work really beautifully with the, particularly, the floral fabric. So the rosebud falls and the daisy one. So $195 for 2 of those. Again, they've got a sheen, an iridescent sort of sheen to those in that white.
So what I'm going to do now is open the seams out and just press down them. So if I can just do that quickly.
So we just sew down the sides, and then we're going to turn that out.
Now, what we don't have to do here, because this is acting as a lining, you don't need to zigzag the sides because
you won't see it.
You won't see it, so don't waste.
Save yourself a job.
Yeah, and save yourself some cotton. So then all we do then is attach the actual facing, right sides together, to the actual dungarees, that part made. And I always attach side seams first.
Why is that?
So, just to get the balance. I always do that first. So,
just the easiest way to
Just the easiest way to do it. So, what I do is, hang on, let's make sure I get this the right way round. Because when you rush, you just try and...
Don't rush.
Hang on a second.
You don't have to rush.
If I do this the other way round...
So we've just had a message from Marilyn. Hello, Marilyn. Thanks for messaging in. So the bundles, is it a question about the bundles? Oh, okay, so if you bought 2 bundles, it would still be cut in half-metre increments, so you'd get 2 lots of half-metre, if that makes sense. So in total, you'd get 4 sort of strips of half-metre fabric rather than a metre all cut together, because those have been pre-cut for these particular bundles today.
So all you do with facings, they can be awkward, so it's right sides together. And just make sure we've got the right bibs. You open it out. It's easier to do it from the inside out. That is the right side. No, it's not that side. That's it. I'm always talking to myself.
So do I. I don't know. You just have to make sure that you're on the right track. I do that too. So I'm sure everybody talks to themselves with it.
It's right side to right side, and you pin it. Okay. So we stick a pin in there, and then we just follow it round. Where's the other end of that pin go? That's it. So then just follow and pin. We need a few pins here. All the way round. That's it. Then if you because there's no side seam here, if you attach that
to that
strap
section,
it's the strap, and then open that out, the seam out in the middle, and put a pin in the seam there. So getting that on camera might be working a bit quick. So that's it. And then
it's just come together so quickly, even with the detail of the facing.
That's it.
So all of your details are in the book. I'll just grab it actually, so you can see. So you've got your patterns in there, but I'll find the. Let's have a look at some of the other projects in here while Janis is
I'm just doing all pinning this.
You're just going to pin the same on the front?
All the same, just all the way around.
Okay, let me turn this around. Some lovely pictures in here too. But as we go through, there's all different projects. So you've got a reversible buggy liner. I like that. That's a really nice idea, actually. I don't think I've ever seen that in a book before. Then you've got... Here is the Easy Peasy sun hat, which you can see here. I just grab. This is the one that Janis has made. Perfect for the beach, perfect for the summer. Then as we go through, we have got a changing bag. Never going to be without one of those.
No.
Lots of pockets, lots of compartments. It's fatal. I think if you've got a big bag, you just fill it, don't you? You've always got lots with you. All your step-by-step photography and sort of talking you through all the different things. Another little hat there. And as we go through, you've got a quilt. Brand new book today, this one. Really lovely. It was quite bright. If I just turn. So you can see you've got all of your step-by-step photography and some nice little tips in there as well, just to make sure you're on the right track. Some wall art, if you wanted to just add some detail to a bedroom. Where was that other one that I wanted to find? Oh, that's nice. A mobile. A cotton mobile.
Yeah, that's lovely,
that's
isn't
sweet,
it?
isn't
It's lovely. It's lovely, the mobile.
Really lovely. With a flower and a butterfly. Lots of projects in there. Then again, at the back, talking you through all of your tools and your pattern, sort of the technique of how to use the pattern sheet. So if you're not sure, you know, perhaps how you're going to use all of these that are in the back, you've got all of these in here. It talks you through laying those out and pinning them to the fabrics and making sure, you know, your grain lines and your fold lines are all in the right place. You taught me how to do that.
Yeah,
you did. Janice taught me how to lay out a pattern.
Right, so now another advice on this, do tack round it, because again, this is a big thing that you're going to stitch in one, and if it goes wrong halfway through, or that doesn't match, you won't be happy, because it will be a lot of stitching to undo. So I'd advise that
it's worth
tacking every time. So I think so. And it won't take long with the tack. So I don't know what to do it myself. I'll have a go. But
you don't have to. I don't know what would you rather do. Would you rather tack it and I can go look at the...
I'd normally rather tack it, but I'm just thinking of the time as well. So if I just do it, and then if I do go wrong, I can just undo a little bit of stitching.
Okay.
So if I use my seam ripper as well, no pressure. But please tack this bit, because it is...
Well, also, you don't have to do all of this in one go. You know, you could do the main body of the dungarees, then come back and do the facing at another time, or tack it, you know.
But also, if you want to risk doing it like I am...
Daredevil.
The thing to do is always put your pins in straight, because also your machine needle can go round them if it's on the straight.
Yes.
Now also, when you're going round a curve, always just keep putting your needle down into your fabric and lift it up and twist it.
Lift and turn.
Just to keep it at that 5/8. If you can, just do it slowly. The slower you do it, the more precise you'll be. But again, tack if you can, if you've got time. Down the side bits, it's not much me with that seam ripper with you, right, Mum? Not to death of Bertie. Thing is, you see, because I'm left-handed and you're to my left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel natural.
It's more. You're more likely to get hurt.
I'll step back. It's okay.
So again, always on the curves, just keep going up and down.
So far, so good, considering we didn't do any tacking.
I know.
It's not speak too soon.
There's too much to go there. But I've been sewing a long time, so I still get it wrong. So.
How long have you been sewing?
A long time. Well, I keep saying 30 years, but it isn't. It's longer.
More than that.
It's like 40. So. Whoops. Sorry, just keep twisting it.
We'll just show you what Janice is making. So it's the dungarees you can see there on your screen. Really beautiful with those two poppers on the top, and also the cuffed legs with poppers as well, which is really easy. You know, if you need to change a nappy or anything like that, you can just undo that really simply. So the pattern and all of the step-by-step instructions are in the book, and that's the denim and pin dot bundle, which is the one on the bottom of your screen there, FWGC 48. That's the fabric that you can see on those dungarees in the image. And enough fabric there to make the hat too. So 2 for 1. 2 for 1.
I've gone off a bit. That's woolly. Okay, go round again. That's it. You take a pin out, you can... Because sometimes as well, if you're doing it freehand, you've got to make sure you don't catch in the back as well.
No, you don't want to go over twice.
The back. That's that. Like I say, if you tack, you wouldn't have none of this, would you? So, because the tacking stitches, and the smaller the tacking stitch, the better as well, because it will hold it that much closer together a bit better. Yeah.
Just because we're working with those curves as well, it's just worth having that.
Anything with curves, always tack. That's what I really think you should do, personally. So again, here, there's a bit of a crease.
Thank you for everyone who's joined us this morning already. The book's been really popular in this hour, so it's a brand new book. We haven't had it on the show before. It's particularly it's a home sewn nursery, so it's all perfect projects for perhaps grandchildren or children, and whether that's toys or clothes, 20 different projects in there. So you've got all the patterns in there for your hats, and there was a quilt, dungarees, a reversible mat for a buggy, a changing bag. So if you're buying 20 patterns separately, it would be a lot more than $14.95. So what I'm saying is it's good value in a roundabout way.
This is the most important part because of the dungarees. It's your top part. That's it.
That's classic shape at the top.
So,
they're timeless, I think, dungarees.
They are.
They really are. They're just something, they've been around for a long time.
I remember when jeans went out of fashion.
Really?
Yeah, they did go out of fashion for the time.
They're firmly back now, but dungarees are definitely back. They're trendy again for adults, not just for children.
They did really go out of fashion. Right, okay, so I'm just going to whip the pins out. And then what you have to do then is clip into the curves again. So,
okay.
Whip the pins out. So if you look, see, like here, I've gone off a bit there. I don't know if I can see it in it. See how we've gone off a bit there. So, but of course you can neaten that up, and if you see it more that side, so off a bit there. So, that's okay. But you'll do it more precise than that. So
we've just got a couple of minutes, so we'll just do this top section.
So what we have to do is just then clip into the curves. So if I do it that size, you can see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I just do around the arms and into the neck here.
Just to give you that mobility in the fabric to open it out. Obviously, you don't need to rush at home. You can just take your time. Janis is doing it on fast forward this morning. I feel like we've had to press fast forward on you. It's not pro fair.
No, it's fine. So if I just, I'll just quickly clip into this side as well, and then we'll just turn it to show.
We've got 2 minutes, so we'll just show this turning out and then where we would pop the poppers, perhaps.
Yeah.
So this is the really lovely playful strawberry fabric. I don't know if you can see it more clearly here.
I'll just turn it out now while you're...
With that scarlet brick. So really, really beautiful. We're going to use that as well. There's enough fabric to do it inside the facing on the leg cuffs as well.
So turn it right side out, and then the facing you just roll.
Oh yes,
to the outside.
That's so satisfying.
Inside. That's it. And you have to get the ends out.
All of a sudden, it's there. The thing is, you don't have to face anything, do you? But it really does add an extra layer and an extra.
It's just the finish, and then you've got the seam ripper.
Your best friend.
Got the finish, you see, to it, haven't you? With the that's it.
So Janis has been making these dungarees this morning from the Home Sewn Nursery book. We've got to the point where we're just popping the facing on the top, but also you would add that in the bottom. I'll show you on these ones that are already made. They've got a lovely sort of cuffed shape here on the bottom of the legs, which is really sweet. Again, just that extra detail. And you can see peeping through where you've popped
the facing is the hardest part. This is the hardest part I've done, really, because the leg cuffs, you just actually... Throw them straight, really.
Okay.
So then
you would just attach your poppers.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Janis. We've run out of time, but we're back soon anyway.
Like that there.
That's it. Yeah, do you want to show?
quickly.
Let's turn it in so you can see. You need the moment of feeling like we've got to the end. Here it is. So the poppers are going to go on there.
Just that.
And then your button. We can hold that so you would see. That would go on there like that.
That's it.
Yay! I really like that. I like it in that colour. But we're back at 10 o'clock, aren't we?
Yeah,
We're making...
An organiser.
An organiser. A sewing room organiser. So you're going to have a cup of tea. We're just going to have a quick look at the fabric. I'll see you in a second.
Lovely. Thank you.
So we've got 4 different bundles on today's show, looking at those different options depending on how you want to use them for the dungarees and the hat or a different project in the book. I'll start with my favourite. This was the new one, a premiere of this on the show today. So you've got the denim print there, Rosebud Falls, which is that really lovely swirly one. Oh, it's the most popular. That makes me really happy that my favourite one's the most popular this morning. Those lovely flowers paired with half a metre again, so half a metre of each of that lovely oatmeal background with your classic green leaves and flowers. NKGC25, half a metre of the 2 of those. There it is. You can see there in detail those lovely songbirds. And in a classic, sort of a colour for that. And then we've also got a few different options. So this was the daisy print with the pin dots. So again, that lovely classic denim colour with the white and the yellow, and then your baby blue with your red and white dots there. Half a metre of each of those. FWGC 48, and that one's $15.95. Then the next one is the one we were just working with, which is that cross-hatched, lovely, this one's definitely slightly thicker, has more of a denim feel to it. You can see there that detail and texture. That's the scarlet brick, half a metre of this one. Paired with that strawberry, which was peeping through on the facing. Really gorgeous, really summery, playful. Perfect for dungarees because I think they're playful anyway. And the last one is your nectarine, paired with your lovely park fabric with your trees and paths, that peachy colour there, with some texture to it. It's got a linear feel to that fabric, with your bright lime greens and dark greens, RPGC 29. So, we're going to take a break now, but don't go anywhere. I'm back in the next hour. We've got some lovely Joel Dewberry fabrics and also 3 different books, particularly a lovely one that's looking at little black dresses, which is perfect for, that staple wardrobe item that we all need. So, Janis is back as well at 10 o'clock. Don't go anywhere, and I'll see you in 3 minutes.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love.
The Sewing Quarter website is simple and easy to use. You can view a live broadcast of the show on our homepage. Get instant access to our online shop, which has a wide range of wonderful products for you to choose from. You can also enjoy a selection of projects and guides which we have on offer to help you enhance your skills and gain valuable tips. Watch the live shows and you can buy the product which is currently being shown on air. You can even message the studio to ask our presenters or team any questions you might have. Below, you'll find all the products from today's show for you to look at and purchase. On the right of the screen, next to today's products, you will find our simple program guide listing all upcoming shows. So, join us today at sewingquarter.com.
There are many different ways you can buy from us here at the Sewing Quarter. You can order from us by calling our free phone number at 0800 112 4433 and talk to the team at our UK-based call centre. Alternatively, there are other ways you can buy from us. You can go online and shop through our website at www.sewingquarter.com. You can even watch the show there and shop as you go. You can check out as many times as you like throughout the day and only pay a small fee of £2.95 postage and packaging for the whole day. We also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all products excluding custom cut fabric. Our friendly UK-based team will help guide you through every step. Did you know there are multiple ways you can contact us, even if it's just to ask a question? Our friendly team are always on standby. You can call our customer service team at 0800 112 4433, email us at help@sewingquarter.com, visit our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter @sewingquarter, and even message us through our website, and our presenters will answer your questions live on air.
To this hour, which is a Joel Dewberry Jamboree. It's a tongue twister. So we've got some gorgeous Joel Dewberry fabrics, lots of different options for you, which we've grouped in 3 different colourways. So we've sort of got a lovely cool icy colours in your turquoises and slate greys. Then we're moving into a slightly warmer section with your golds and lovely yellows, and then moving into a darker orange and some more floral prints with navies and pinks as well. So what I'll do first, you can see that lovely spectrum of fabrics there, all working and tying in really well together, but again, also, work beautifully on their own. It's like a rainbow of colour. So Joel Dewberry was a graphic designer, so he's got that real eye for detail and for artwork. And he also came from a family where there was very much a support for the arts. His mother was an artist, so really supported, the creativity and making sure that that was something that was valued, which I think is lovely. So I'm going to start first of all just recapping the fabrics really quickly, so you can see what we've got, and then we'll go through in more detail so you know what's there. So I'm going to just pull this collection towards me. I don't want to ruin the display. So, and we've got all different, this reminds me of almost an icy feel to these, would be perfect for those turquoise and blue and nice cool sort of projects. So we'll start with this one, which is a sort of turquoise pyramids. These are all sold by the half metre on today's show. So we cut our fabrics to measure in half metre increments, and then they're sent to you, according to how much you order. So if you wanted 3 metres of fabric, it would be 6 units. So they're sold by the half metre and then just added up depending on how much you need for whatever project you've got. So these are all £6.95 per half metre. This is the first one. So you've got those sort of a geometric print there. You can see actually the graphic design sort of inspired background there with that print. So that's the pyramids in mint. Then your next one is, it's like a lattice. It reminds me a bit of a floor tile actually. So you've got a lovely grey and again that turquoise colour, a geometric print there you can see with those angular shapes. That one there is the arbor fabric in mint. Then the next one we've got a lovely jacket actually made in 2 of these fabrics, which I'll show you. Sometimes when you see it in a piece, it's a bit more inspiring than just me waving fabric at you. Then this one here is the deco bloom fabric. So you've got a flower print on this one, a floral, again with those lovely teals, turquoises and minty blues on a white background. And your last one in this little collection is a crystal shape. So you've got your mustard yellows, greys and turquoises. This one's called crystalline. So a nice colour palette on that one there. So £6.95 for all of those half metres in that cool blue collection. Then we'll move through into, let's just separate those, into more of the yellows. So this has quite a rich feel to it, lots of golds coming through here. I'll start with this one, this one is called your Bazaar fabric. So you've got really bright gold, sort of moving towards I'd say gold, but moving also towards like a khaki green, a mustardy khaki. So that's a lichen there on that print. Then your next one is much more of a summer yellow, sort of a sun yellow there, with your polka dots in 2 circles. So this is a gold there. That's your eclipse fabric. So I'm just going through these super quickly in case you're wondering why I'm on fast forward, just so you can see the ones that we've got, and then I'll go through more slowly in a bit. 2 tulip options. So this one, let's just turn it around. I think the flowers like this. So you've got your mustards, your magentas and your pinks there, with a little spot of grey too in your tulips. So that's in poppy. And then the other option is a slightly different colour palette with more of a navy and a brighter, more vivid pink and a coral. So that's another tulip one there from Joel Dewberry. This one is orchid. So you can see that classic orchid colour there just coming through in the petal. So that's that collection. So far so good, keeping the table neat and tidy. Then this last one, we've got that pink and grey. So this is a Bazaar fabric in orchid. Very eclectic and eye-catching, I think, with those bold prints on there. And then the last one, this one's very popular. This is the Rose Bouquet. So this one's always really popular from Joel Dewberry. A classic floral print there, really lovely for dressmaking, perhaps for, you know, a wedding or a summer party. Or also as an accessory in a bag. Would be really beautiful if you're wearing a more plain outfit and you want to add a bit of detail. So that's the Rose Bouquet in orchid with that lovely flower. So all of these are £6.95 per half metre. And the lovely thing about these fabrics, I'll just show you how they're delivered to you. So the cut to measure fabrics arrive, let me grab the box, in one of these, a sewing quarter box. So this is what would arrive in the post, like a present to yourself. And then inside it's all wrapped beautifully in tissue paper with a nice little sewing quarter sticker there. Really lovely. So if you're looking to add a fabric to your basket today, you can either do that on the website or you can also give the call centre a ring. So it's 0800 112 4433 and they'll be happy, perhaps if you're not sure which one was which or you didn't quite catch the name, they'll be happy to sort of figure that out for you, and we'll go through them again anyway. So I mentioned that we had some books. I'll just show you first of all, I think sometimes it's lovely to see projects in the fabrics that we've got on the show. I really like this. This is a lovely sort of summer blazer or jacket using 2 of those. So it's a mix there of that pyramid fabric in the mint. Really lovely. So you can see that there with that geometric. Really soft and gorgeous. That binding just adding the detail to it too. And then inside you can see, oh, so this is reversible. A reversible jacket. You've got there your deco blooms, so your lovely turquoise and teal flowers with a slate grey. And the graphics are just on the bottom of your screen there for that one. So they're the 2 different fabrics from the mint range. Then you might also spy the tulips. So we've got here the cutting mat bag in this one. So that's your tulip fabric. This is just showing what you can do. You can always go back on YouTube and see how we made that. So although these are slightly different colours, you can see there that's that lattice print and the herringbone, which we've got in carrot on today's show. But this is the Joel Dewberry tulip in poppy. And then the other option that you've got, oh, we've got 2 things on here actually. We've got again that tulip fabric in a lovely little top there. And then this one here, which is a skirt, which we've made using that lovely gold fabric. Really beautiful with, like a nice plain blouse, but to have a bit of pattern somewhere on your outfit is really nice there with that sort of the spirals and the twirls of the leaves. Really, really pretty. So we mentioned books. We've got a premiere of a book on here today, on today's show, this little black dress book that we haven't had on before. So I'll start with this one actually. Where to go? So a little black dress, obviously, an absolute classic, something that is a staple in anyone's wardrobe. I think it's timeless, it's classic, it's something that you're always going to need, always going to use. And I think everybody's got that black dress that they go to. And it's just something that you can rely on and not worry about. So what's lovely about the Little Black Dress book is this is about making a little black dress that's going to fit you perfectly. So it's about tailoring that to you, making sure you feel confident in the shape and, you know, the styling of the dress, because obviously everyone's body shape is slightly different, and you need to make sure that it's one that makes you feel good, ultimately. So I'll talk you through. This is written by an expert dressmaker, Simon Henry. So she'll guide you through how to make a dress, but not just that, it's also about making a personal block. So let me fast forward to where it is. I can come back to this bit. This is the part I really wanted to show you. So this is about making a block that's tailored to you and to your shape, and then from there using that body block to create a dress that you can feel confident in. So it's really detailed. Also, this book, more than any that I've really seen, the photography, rather than just being, you know, 1, 2, 3, it's so detailed. You've got like an A, B, C step to some of these photographs. Every step photographed really clearly. All of this here, talking you through how to create that block, which is a pattern tailored to you. Lots of detail, lots of tips. So you can make a really sort of chic dress, perfect for any occasion. I'm just going to fast forward a bit to show you some of the dresses in here. Where is the... There's also an option to make some accessories, so there are gloves and a lovely little fascinator hat as well. But I'm going to show you the actual dresses. So, where is it? I was looking at this one earlier. So looking at them in terms of different style icons. So you've got the Marilyn, which you can see here. I also spied the Audrey. I'm going to find that one, which is a classic LBD, as people call it, don't they? An LBD dress. Let's have a look. Just a wardrobe staple, something that we all need, something to go to. So this is where is it? It's the Audrey one. Here it is. So some nice photography there, so you can see it on a body and sort of imagine how it looks. But as we go through, I'll show you on this page. Talking you through how you create that dress in lots of detail. 3 classic dresses in there, plus a jacket and a hat. And at the beginning, I know I skimmed forward, but there's lots of detail on how to do things, you know, like creating darts, your details, different sewing techniques about the seams and all things like that, and the equipment and materials that you need. So just a classic, making a little black dress, you know, something staple for your wardrobe that you can always use. Now the next one, we've got very limited stock of this already before I've even told you about it. This one is Sewing Happiness. This is a really, really thick book actually. So you've got 20 projects in here, but the reason this is a thick book is because this isn't just about patterns and instructions. This is very much a story-driven book. So the author had sort of a chronic illness, and she turned to sewing as a way to, sort of a meditative practice really, to allow her to escape from what was going on in her life. And I think a lot of people, you know, using sewing as a way to switch off, and all different ways to do that. So I'll show you there's all different projects in here, 20 projects. But what's nice is at the beginning, there's a whole story to read. It isn't just straight into projects. So talking all about, you know, using sewing in your life. And then once we do move into the projects, even then it's not instructions, it's just a photograph and talking you through the uses for these different projects. So whether that's, you know, that's a little tooth fairy pillow. What a cute idea. Oh, that's lovely. These are divided into 4 seasons. So seasonal chapters for your summer and your spring. Projects that are sort of designed to promote health and well-being, but all lots of little projects here, just with a description, almost like just a sum up of what they are and what they're for. And once you get through that, so what I'm saying is it's a nice read. It's not just about diving straight in and making something. It's something that you could sit with and spend a nice afternoon having a look at it and seeing which project takes your fancy. Some really different things in here as well. So this particular one I'm looking at is a fortune cookie advent calendar. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before. Then you move through into the spring section. So again, all your different seasons. And once you moved, talking about, you know, the movements in different seasons and why, you know, why we feel different and want to make different things, you know, depending on the weather and depending on how it makes us feel. The infinity scarf, these are great. I love those. Really easy. You can just throw that on and all of a sudden it adds a lot more detail to an outfit without having to worry about how you're going to tie the scarf up. And then the actual instructions here are all at the back. So talking you through with lots of diagrams, all those details, how you create, you can see there, an origami pillow, how to, you know, pop your patterns together and create all of those little projects. And lots of detail. You can see this is a really thick book. And then, once we get to the end of the instructions at the back, there's also just a section, you know, on resources and different ways to get different things to add to your collection. This is a really lovely project, actually, a journal book cover. I like those. I really like having, I've always got a notebook on me wherever I go. I've probably got one here under the table. But a journal cover just really adds a bit of softness to it and a feminine touch. Really limited stock on this one, UMMZ40. That's the Sewing Happiness book. If you've got it in your basket, please just check out to make sure that you get it. If you don't know, once you've popped something in your basket, it doesn't mean that it's guaranteed that it's yours until you've checked all the way out through to the end. So you only pay £1 postage and packaging a day here at Sewing Quarter. So it's £2.95, it's capped at midnight. So if you bought something, say, in the first show you bought a bundle from the dungarees, and then in this hour or later on you see something else that you think you need or like the look of, you can add that and you'll only be charged one lot of postage and packaging, so you don't have to worry about being charged twice. So our last book for this hour, it's a really sort of chic-looking book, actually. It's got a very bespoke feel to it. This is all about tailoring and alterations. So all different tailoring techniques. J. Francoise Campbell is her background is in costume and theatre, so she currently works for the Royal Opera House making costumes for ballerinas and for the operas and things there, but also, you know, started at the London College of Fashion, then went on to work in the West End, so has got is someone you can trust and, you know, is altering things all the time to make sure that they fit perfectly for costumes. So perhaps you've got things in your wardrobe that you want to revamp. Maybe you've changed size slightly and you need to change something, you don't want to throw it away. Maybe you want to add some detail to it, or just, you know, general alterations. It gives you the freedom to do that yourself. Or perhaps you see something in a shop and, you know, you need to customise it to you and your size. This gives you the know-how to do that. So let's have a look inside. So you start here with a lovely history of tailoring. So some gorgeous pictures there talking about how fashion, you know, started in Paris and how it's moving to London and some traditional techniques. Then we get started. We're getting started. Really beautiful photography. This is a really thorough section at the beginning, talking you through you know, pre-washing, your equipment, your sewing machine. I saw earlier, and when I get to it, I'll find it. There's a really comprehensive guide of what needles to use according to what fabric you're working with. Talking you through here it is. So the fabric, and then the handling, and then what needle, you know, you would be using if you can machine sew with that or hand sew. And that table is really thorough. You can see all those different fabrics there, your cottons, your wools, not just these pages, it goes all the way through a whole comprehensive table there. Nylons, your polyesters, then your slightly more unusual fabrics, maybe your tweeds or your suedes and oilcloths. A useful guide to just have around. Sometimes you're not sure, are you, you know, which one to use, and just to have a reference is great. Then it moves into looking at different hems, so different options for both seams and hems. So like you've got your double fold there, then you've got a roll hem. Again, for customising your clothes. Your types of seams there. A machine zigzag seam. So as I said, this is a very thorough section at the beginning on getting started. Then we've also got this really useful section here about body measurements. Whenever we have dressmaking on the show, all of the dressmakers, I know Jennifer Taylor always says it, it's not about conventional shop size, it's about using your specific body measurements. So whether that's, you know, your hips or your waist and your bust, they tend to be the main ones. But this one just giving you that detailed information of exactly where to measure, where to place that tape measure and take your, you know, whether that's in inches or centimetres, to take those measurements. Men's and women's there as well. It's not just a women's book. Then once we've gone through that getting started section, we move into different chapters, all looking at different items in your wardrobe. So we start with skirts. Step by step diagrams there, lengthening a hemline, shortening one, altering one on a bias cut skirt, so, you know, depending if that's on a diagonal, altering an elasticated waistband, making a waistband bigger, all different options there. So that's the skirt section. Then I'll just skip forward a couple of pages. We get to, then you get to dresses. So this section here, looking at tailoring those dresses to fit your body with zips and altering the body shape, whether that's the main bodice of the dress or the skirt itself, altering the neckline. I'll just show you quickly the other chapters so you know what they are. You've also got a trousers section, so again, perfect for both men and women. Then your next chapter, I'm just trying to see where those chapter pages are, is jackets. Crucial to have a jacket that's tailored really well. You know, it just gives you that, you feel good when a jacket fits you properly, when it's fitted well. Then your next one is shirts. So again, looking at cuffs and collars. I was going to say collars and then I said both at the same time. Cuffs and collars. Again, all your detail there. And at the back, let me just skip forward, this last section, which is all your accessories, so ties, bows, and waistcoats, if you want to tailor those. That looks so smart. Really lovely. So if you've just joined us, this is our Joel Dewberry Jamboree in this hour. So we're looking at lots of Joel Dewberry fabrics and these 3 books, really limited stock on this Sewing Happiness. So if it's in your basket, make sure you check it out. Let's get back to Joel Dewberry. Let's head over here. So we're going to show you, before I do the fabrics, we've got this back on the show today, which is always really popular. You might be looking at this thinking, why is she just showing us a plastic box? These are so fantastic for storing your spools in one place and for keeping them really neat and tidy, whether that's on a shelf, in a cupboard, you know, in a sewing room, or even in your sewing bag. Every time we have this on the show, it's incredibly popular. So you can see here where they'd sit. If I take the inner out, you'll be able to see more clearly. So you can see those vertical spool holders there, so they fit really beautifully in together. Let's just move this along so you can see. You can see how they all sit there, but you can still visually see everything that you've got in your box. So whether you're matching, you know, colourways, you're creating, you know, a pink box and a green box, or just a mix match. The other thing as well is it's a great way to keep spools and bobbins together. So if you wanted to make sure that you've got those all in one place, it's an easy way for you to do that. As I said, this one holds 27. These are often multi-bought actually, so they're great. You could, you know, stack them on top of each other. Perhaps if, you know, you want to keep them in different colour sections, whether that's your blues and navies, then your greens in another, and pinks and reds in another. And because it's that clear plastic, you can see really clearly everything that's inside. If they were even, you know, on a glass shelf, you could see underneath everything that's in there. Nice tight-fitting lid. Great if you're travelling to a class, a sewing class, or perhaps a workshop and you want to take a few with you. Rather than ferreting around in the bottom of your bag, it just keeps them all nice and organised in one place. So this is a really great price, $6.45 for the 27 spool holder. CUGQ63. Lovely. So, back to my friend Joel Dewberry, who's with us in this hour. So, I'm going to start with, what one do I want to go with? These ones are my favourite colours today. I'm very drawn to blue at the moment. I don't know why. I remember last time I was on, I loved the blue icy fabrics, but they're really, really lovely. So this one here is your crystalline. I'll start with this. Let's open it out so you can see. So this is being sold today in half-metre increments. They're cut off the bolts for you, cut to measure. So if you needed, 6 metres, we've got a metre here actually, then that would be 12 units. Let's open this out. So that's a metre you can see here of the crystalline. Really lovely, like a cut crystal with that mustard, your aqua, your slate grey and your white. A geometric print, nice and bold. Let me know what projects spring to mind when you look at these. Remember, I'd love to hear from you. You can get in touch at on the Sewing Quarter website or email us, studio@sewingquarter.com. So these are all 100% cotton, really soft, perfect for, for quilting projects, but also a lot of these, in my eye, are really lovely for dressmaking, for different fashion items, or even for bags and accessories as well. Because we sell by the half metre, you can do any project you like. If you've got something in mind, you just need half a metre, just get half a metre. This one here, is a cocoa bloom. This is a floral. I'll open this one out. Let's turn it around. I think that's upside down. So you've got your teal. This is the most popular so far, actually, out of the Joel Dewberry in this hour. So that lovely colour palette with your teals, your turquoises, your aquas. It looks quite blue on your screen, but it's definitely much more towards a teal and a turquoise on that white background there. And the detail in the background, there's also a small grey dot. I don't know if you can see that if we came in a bit closer, but that's really, really lovely summery feel to that. EWRW84. So we've made the jacket out of that. I won't grab it because it's on I can grab it. Let's grab it. So this is I'll turn it around the other way so you can see. This is a reversible jacket. Let's bring it back over here. See, sometimes you can see. Should I try it on? Why not? So you can see, oh, I might take this. Oh, I quite like that. So you can see here in that fabric, you've got your lovely, the flowers there. You can always watch. I actually really like this jacket. Producer Paul, I might need to take this one home. So this is reversible, and you can see there on the pyramid print, but I'll get to that one. So you can always watch back on YouTube. Remember, all of our shows go up onto YouTube once the live feed has finished. So you can go back and watch how this was made. I'm not sure who made this. Which show it was on, we'll find out. Let's have a look. So that's your Cocoa Bloom in mint from the Atrium range, EWRW84. All of these today, £6.95 per half metre, so there's no different price points. It's just, whichever pattern perhaps takes your fancy. Okay, so your next one. So the reverse of that, on the other side of the jacket, is your pyramids. Here. Okay, shall I try the reverse on? We're just going to keep turning this inside out. Here we go. So you've got lovely little pyramids on there in that mint with the white, a geometric feel, but also you've got, you can see here, if we push in a bit closer, those little stripes within the pyramids itself. So there is some detail there. They're not just solid prints. Let me put this side on. I really like the cut of this jacket. Really lovely. And you can just peek through the other side if you make the reversible jacket, or like this. So this is the mint there that you can see in those pyramids. Really lovely. I'll just turn around so you can see the fabric. Nice. Well, I'm doing a fashion show this morning. Okay. We've had a message from Brigitte. From Geeta. Hello, Geeta. Thank you for ringing in. Wants to have a look about the little black dress book. Okay. Oh, is it suitable for beginners? Yes, they are suitable for beginners. There's step-by-step instructions in both of those books. And also the introductory chapters are talking you through the basics right back from, even turning on your sewing machine, how to use them, which cottons to use, which needles. So lots of detail there for a beginner. Then your last one. I haven't got a jacket to wear in this one. I might have to make a poncho or something out of this, or a scarf, a pashmina. Let's open this. So this is your slate grey. I really like this one. Slate grey with that lovely sort of a classic, almost like a floor tile there, with those geometric shapes. Or a stained glass window, actually. So this is the Arbor fabric in mint from that Atrium range. JURW28. I'm just going to show you some of these together so you can see how well they work. Let's pair this one. Just to mix and match, if I put, so you can see these colours here coming in really well together. Let me just sneak that in there so you can see. Oh, let's put it here. You can see there how those colours, that aqua is the running theme through all of those. I think this crystalline one works really beautifully with the with that trellis on the Arbor fabric here on the bottom. That's like a double stained glass actually. If I take these two out of the picture, you can see there. So you could do a reversible jacket in that actually, because then you've got two, more sort of varying options. That's quite a different print because of the mustard in this one. So depending on the outfit, you could turn it inside out the other way. So I'll just show you the website quickly if you want to. Everything that you've seen on today's show is at the bottom. So if you go to the watch page, you'll see the sequence from today's show at the top there. So that's that live feed. It's probably just a couple of seconds behind us. And then at the bottom, acting like a shopping list, is everything there from the last 2 hours. And as we go through the show, more things will obviously be added. So you can see all of those Joel Dewberry fabrics and your books, the tailoring book, the sewing happiness book, and the little black dress book. So 3 different colourways in these collections today. So that's the mint one. Which one's most popular at the moment? Let's have a look. Da-da-da. The blue. The blues are the most popular. Was it this one? Oh, this one, the Deco Bloom, is the most popular at the moment. So that turquoise and aqua with the slate grey. Nicer feminine print, actually, with a floral's always going to add that bit of femininity. But also beautiful for home furnishings. I could really see this as a cushion or a doorstop or something in a bedroom, curtains or a lampshade. So if you order 2 units, that's a whole metre. It's sold by the half metre. So the next one we'll look at is we've got a mixture here of some lovely, this is more of an orange collection with a red theme running through it. So this was a premiere of this fabric on the show today. This is a lattice with carrot. I'm going to open this one right up. Again, with all of these on the selvage, you've got your you've got a guide here of the colours that are in the fabric. So if you wanted to team this with another fabric, a solid or something, you can always cut that off and take it with you. So you can team it up with something. So this is the trellis fabric in carrot. A few people asking to see the books again. I'll go and do those in a minute so you can have a look at everything that's in there. I'll just talk you through these ones first. So a lovely blue and that carrot orange there. Oh, the thread storage box, also incredibly popular, selling really well in this hour. They're always so popular when they're on the show, just as a storage option. They're so easy. Lovely colour palette there in that one. Slightly unusual, something a bit different. Oh, how did I manage that? Let's start that again. I look like I've never folded anything up before. Okay, then you've got a herringbone in the carrot, which is this one here. So again, you've got that geometric feel to it with those rectangles, but creating a V more so than a straight angular line. A bit like a patio, isn't it? A herringbone, that always reminds me of, or like a driveway. So you've got like bricks there coming through the fabric. Again, in that bright carrot colour, VTRW36. Then the next one. This one is producer Paul's favourite, this next one. So on a navy background, a busier print actually here, with your dark sort of magenta purples and then a nice coral colour here as well, in these spirals all working outwards. These look a little bit like birds to me, like the wings of a bird. Nice circular sections. So this is the Bazaar fabric in Orchid. Again, really soft, 100% cotton. JPRW09. All of these Joel Dewberries are £6.95 per half metre today, so no difference in price point for this Joel Dewberry Jamboree. Whoever wrote that wasn't thinking about how easy that is to say. It's quite a mouthful. I'll have to do some tongue twisters. Then we've got this last one. I was just going to show you there on the selvage. You can see the colour selection here. So you've got your navy, a nice dark magenta pink, more of a candy pink, moving into a coral, and then a bubblegum pink there with your white. So this is the Rose Bouquet in Orchid, again from that Flora range, XNRW05. This is a classic floral to me, with those big roses on there, the blossoming flowers, all opening up with those lovely sort of scalloped and circular petals. Lovely for a cushion or for curtains or blinds in a bedroom. You could even fussy cut that and applique it, you know, onto clothes or a jacket. Really, really lovely. Okay, so we've got one more lot of fabric. Do you want to do that first, or shall we do the books first? What do we reckon? Let's finish the fabric. So, two options in your tulip fabric here today. Two different colourways, basically, but the same print. So I'll start with this one. Let's move these. Oh, I think it's upside down. Every time I end up with the tulips upside down. Here we go. A nice rich navy. Then you've got a lovely sort of taupe colour there in the polka dot. Your petals with your purples and pinks. Again from that Flora range. If I bring in next to it, you can see the other colour option. And you can see those there. We've made a bag out of this, a cutting mat bag. I'll grab that actually while you have a look at that. So you can see that's much more of a pink feel to the one with the mustard. Although these pinks are the same, they have a very different feel to those fabrics because of either the mustard or the navy. You can see how that totally changes the palette of the fabric. So this one here is in poppy, and this one here is in orchid. Orchid, poppy. So this is the bag we made. Oh, there's a pin in there. The cutting mat bag. So you can see that's the fabric sort of in use. Sometimes it's helpful to just see something made out of it. Lovely. So those are your two tulip fabrics. Then also in this colourway, we've got two different gold and yellow fabrics. So I'll start with this one. I'm going to open this one right out. This is a really cheerful fabric, actually. I think yellow doesn't ever fail to not be cheerful. It just has a sort of really lovely bright feel to it. So you've got these lovely circles here with a polka dot, a pin polka dot there, and also a smaller one that's creating a floral, like a little small floral there. So this is the Eclipse fabric in golden. Maybe because we just associate yellow with the sun, and the sun makes you happy. So £6.95 again for a half metre of this. You could pair that with a more patterned floral, or perhaps even with just with a solid. I think this this shade of yellow would also lend itself, perhaps if you've got a plain lounge or a bedroom and you wanted to add a little splash of detail in a cushion, this would be really lovely for that. And, you know, with a nice binding on it as well. And then your last one, why does that keep happening? I can't... That's the one. There is a funny crease in that fabric. And then the last one is, again, a gold, but this moving, I think I said earlier, this is almost like moving towards a khaki type colour. A really lovely print on here. Actually, I'm going to open it out even more, just so you can have more of an idea of what's going on in that fabric. This one's really popular too. So on a nice cream ivory background, it's very classic, sort of vintage feel to that. And that's the lichen. So that's your gold lichen there. I think lichen is what, if my A-level biology memory serves me correctly, is it's a mixture between algae and something else. I can't think what it is. And it grows on trees. That's what I remember. That's as much as my A-level biology is going to serve me today. So lovely gold one there. So that's all of your Joel Dewberries, whether you're going for a turquoise and blue in that cool palette with that icy feel to it because of the white and also the blue. Then you've got that golden section that we just looked at with the tulips and the more yellow fabrics with that bright, cheerful feel. And then we had the carrot colours in those oranges, again with two different floral prints on a navy. So they're not being sold in bundles or in collections in any way, that you can choose any of those by the half metre and just order one fabric or one design that you like, or pair them up and match them to create something maybe reversible like the jacket. So the most popular thing this hour, having just spoken through all those gorgeous fabrics, is actually the storage box holder, the spool holder. So I'll show you this again. This one is for 27 spools, a really lovely way to just keep everything in one place. You can see there how they fit really snugly together, so they're not going to be sort of wobbling around or moving anywhere. Lots of people multi-buying these. Great for your sewing room or a craft room, great to put in your project bag. You can see here, if I take out the inside, that nice tight fitting lid. So if you've got things inside, they're not going to go anywhere. You know, it's nice and secure. If you're multi-buying, I'm imagining you're probably matching threads, thread colours together. Or perhaps you're working with bobbins and threads that you're keeping in one place. So you can see those vertical holders there that your thread's just going to sit on. All your different rows, you know, you could zigzag those according to colour. And because it's that clear plastic, you can see really easily what's inside. 645, CU GQ 63. And if you're after some threads to put in the box, we've got some. So I'll show you, there's two different Gutermann thread packs on today's show. So this is a German brand, been going for over 150 years, really reliable thread, something that's going to, it's got a really high abrasion rate, isn't going to tear easily, and a great consistent thickness to work with, so something that's just going to go through your machine really beautifully. So I'll start with this one, which is the Ring of Roses thread pack. There are 7 different colours in here, and it's 100 metres of each one. So you've got some nice dark colours in there. This has sort of a royal, a regal, rich feel to this particular collection. So you've got a nice baby pink there, and then we move into those royals with a nice navy, a royal green, a violet, a teal, a poppy red, and here at the bottom, white. You can never have too much white thread, can you? You always need a little bit more. So 7 different 100 metre threads in there, 100% polyester. So that's the NLGQ83 Ring of Roses pack. Then the other one, oh, they both called Ring of Roses. Is that why you're getting them? This one is called, oh, this one's called Summer Loft. It's just had the same thing on the front. I'll turn this round so you can see. So this is much more of a pastel feel for this one. So you've got here your whites, a baby pink, a slightly darker pink there. These are really great, you know, for children's projects because you've got your classic colours. Perhaps if you've got the home sewn nursery book in that first hour with Janis. And a spring-like feel to these lovely bright greens at the top here. So just working through that gradient, 2 greens, 2 blues, 2 pinks, and a white. That's the Summer Loft Pack, DSGQ 27. So, we've had a few messages about the book, so I'll head over to the other side and have a look at those so you can see a bit more clearly what's in there. Or if you've got any questions, let me know and I can flick through and find a page. Which one do we want to start with? The Little Black Dress book. You can never have too many little black dresses, although I think just to have one that fits you perfectly is the dream, really, because you can always change it up, you know, with a jacket or change a bag or perhaps a hat or a corsage or an accessory, that if you know you've got the actual body of the dress that fits you perfectly, then you can just add to that and personalise it, depending on the occasion. So this is about creating those staple black dresses and working with creating a body block for you that's going to fit you perfectly. So written by dressmaker Simon Henry, she talks about the body block actually being a personal pattern. So rather than working with conventional sizes, it's using your measurements to create something that fits you. Let's have a look through the book. Can we do it this way? I don't know if we can use... So at the beginning, just talking through the history of the little black dress. It is classic, you know, through the ages you can see how it's just an iconic item really that's been used, you know, for years. Because black's so flattering as well, isn't it? And you can team it with any colour shoes. That's it. You can see here. Looking through there, you can see those style icons, you know, your Chanel, and it's like a timeline. That's it. We're just trying to twist it so you can see more clearly. Bringing you right up to date through the ages, where you can see those dresses have been worn, you know, on a red carpet by the Princess of Wales there, Audrey Hepburn, Nicole Kidman, as we come right up to date to now, and then about creating that dress now for you, that fits you. All different shapes and sizes. It talks you through how to use the book. Obviously, you just follow it through in chronological order. You've got all that information there on your equipment, your different techniques. Oh, this is a lovely detail there. It's like a cutting line on the bottom of the book. I like that. Nice. As I said before, more than any other book, this has got really clear photography, not just in sort of 1, 2, 3. You've got here like a 2A, a 2B, and you can see there that every step is photographed to take you through those different sections of the work. Then we get through to the actual projects. If I skip forward a little bit. So here, then we get to making the blocks. This is that important part where you're going to tailor that to you. So it's right, it fits you correctly. So you've got the body block there. Nice, useful tips. Instructions about what you need, what measurements you need to take, some important notes and information there. Then once you've done the body block, you've also got, see what I mean about how thorough this is? This is all about the body block. We're on photo 24 here already for that. 26, it goes really thoroughly in detail about creating that body, so you're going to get that tight, lovely fit specifically to you. Then moving into the full block there. Even tips about what things are, you know, telling you what the selvage is. And there are 3 classic dresses in the book itself. So once you get through all of that information there about creating that block tailored to you, then we get through here. Oh, I love these. They're like taken from someone's artist, you know, what's it called? Not a notebook, a sketchbook. That's what I'm looking for. I wish I could draw. I can't draw at all. I'm really, really not that way inclined. So then here talking about all your different fabrics that you could use. Obviously, that's an important step. Your choice in your fabric, whether that's a silk, all different types of silk there, actually. And then your man-made fabrics, your acrylics, your nylons, your polyesters, your linens. Looking at embellishments as well. Then this is where we get to the section of 3 main dresses. So you've got the Audrey here. A classic fitting dress with that really flattering shoulder cut there. And just finishing below the knee, which I think is a really flattering cut on anybody. So you've got some pictures there where you can see that. And then showing you how you make that. Then you've got 2 other dresses You had that one there, the greater, which you can see, which is, it's got a slightly longer sleeve and then a wraparound with a tie. And then that last one here, which is the Marilyn. Really chic. Even perfect for work, but you could jazz that up easily for an evening occasion. Again, with that flattering tie there. So a really lovely book. That's the Little Black Dress book by Simon Henry, FGMZ81, and that one's $14.95. The next one is really low in stock. So this is the Sewing Happiness book that's looking through all your different seasons. We're just going to check the stock on that, actually. So 2 left. There's 2 left of this. So looking at your summer, your spring, your autumn and your winter, projects for all of those. But as I said before, you can see here, this is a really, let me see how many pages are in this book. If it's in your basket, just make sure you check it out. So this is 225 pages. It's a really a thorough book, but also it has a real element of story. It's more of a lifestyle book. There's a fiction element to it in the author telling her story about how she used sewing to help her through a difficult time in her life, but also making projects that, you know, are both approachable and beautiful and inspiring. So inspiring you with that creativity for all different projects. I'll just show you a couple of those so you get an idea. There was a journal cover for a notebook. No, at the front, actually. You can see here these gorgeous pictures. Sort of a Scandinavian feel to some of these. Sort of an everything bucket, so a storage caddy there. I always use those for cotton wool and things like that, you know, perhaps in the bathroom or in the bedroom. And then an infinity scarf, so one of those looped scarves that sort of wrap all the way around rather than with 2 ends. So seasonal projects, you can see there. A zip pouch. Perfect, you could use it as a clutch bag or as an accessory bag for makeup or toiletries. You could obviously scale up the size. Even got little clothes here. And, oh, isn't that so cute? A kimono top and bloomers. That's lovely. Oh, that's really lovely. We should make that. I like that a lot. A heating pad. Lots of different things in here. That lovely fortune cookie advent calendar. Something slightly different and quirky. So only 2 of those left, might not even, I'm not sure, so UMMZ40. Please check out your basket if they're in those because we can't guarantee your order until that's done. So that's $14.95 for Sewing Happiness. Then our last book. This is the tailoring book that I mentioned before. This one here, written by J. Francoise Campbell, who currently works at the Royal Opera House. So she's working all the time with alterations and costumes. She went to the London College of Fashion, and she works, you know, in the West End on different shows, creating costumes for ballerinas and for operas and for theatre. So altering, you know, a really great way you can see here just to revamp your wardrobe or to make sure that, you know, you've got maximum usage with everything in there so it fits you well. I'll just show you through some of the different things in here. So you get 10 tailoring techniques, but suitable for, you know, from a beginner all the way through to more complicated tasks. So looking, you know, at taking up a hem, letting down a hem, making a waistband bigger or smaller. And this is divided into chapters. So there's a trousers chapter, a skirts, a dresses, a cuffs and collars, you know, for shirts. Also looking at ties and waistcoats. So your whole wardrobe covered by alterations. And if there are any tweaks, I quite often, sometimes I buy things and I think, oh, I'll make sure I get that altered, or I'll you know, have that changed, and then it goes in the wardrobe and you just forget about it and you don't necessarily end up wearing it then because it doesn't fit you properly. But this is giving you the freedom to do it yourself. Really lovely book. Again, with all your step-by-step instructions, your diagrams. Rather than photographs in this one, this has got some really sort of accurate diagrams there that shows you how you're going to do things like creating your collar, your shirt collar. Taking you all through the process with all the steps there in detail. That's the shirt section you can see there. And this was the book as well that at the beginning had a really comprehensive guide of everything, you know, your table of all your needles, what you can use different fabrics for, whether you can machine sew with them, hand sew with them, your different types of threads. Really thorough. Oh, this section was great too. This is talking about challenging fabrics. So, you know, whether that's a sequin fabric like this one here, perhaps a fake fur or a PVC or a leather or a suede, those fabrics that maybe you're put off working with because they're tricky. Some tips there on how to make that easier and more manageable, but also perfect for a beginner for all those simple alterations that you need to make. So 3 different books: The Little Black Dress, The Tailoring and Altering, which is TAMZ 76, that one's $14.95, and that Sewing Happiness book, which we had 2 left of, so if it's in your basket, just check it out. So in this hour, we've been looking at those lovely Joel Dewberry fabrics. Thank you for joining us on our Joel Dewberry Jamboree. And we had the lovely mint collection with those beautiful pyramids and that reversible jacket you can see here. This was the mint pyramids there. And on the reverse was the cocoa bloom in that gorgeous palette of the teal, turquoise and slate grey. This is actually the most popular in this hour. Really lovely. Remember, you can watch back on YouTube if you wanted to make that particular one. So you can see that there. Really lovely. Then we also had the tulip fabrics in the poppy and the orchid, so that colour palette more moving towards the pinks and the reds. And then we had that last section, which was the carrot colours, where we had the herringbone and also the trellis and the lattice type fabrics. So all of those are on the website. If you scroll under the live feed of today's show, that shopping list there for you to use. So Janis is back. We've got some lovely sewing room accessories in this next hour. We're working through a pattern and some really gorgeous fabrics that we're working with that are perfect for your sewing room with lots of notions and button detail. So we'll see you in 3 minutes.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for The Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more.
It's easy to buy the products you see on our shows. To buy any of the items featured on today's programmes, just head over to our website www.sewingquarter.com. Click on the video stream and you'll be taken to our watch page. Here you'll find the product that is on air right now at the top of the page. Beneath that, you'll find all the products demonstrated in this morning's shows. To add an item to your basket, simply log into your account or register with us. Then you can either check out or keep shopping. Remember, our flat rate delivery charge lets you shop all day and check out as many times as you like and only pay once for postage and packing. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
When you spend £10 on your first purchase, you will receive this free sewing kit from the Sewing Quarter worth £14.99.
So today I'm going to be showing you how to sew a satin stitch. This is basically a line of straight stitches covering an area, let's say a petal, and they'll be parallel and adjacent to each other, giving you a nice satin finish. So I'm using embroidery thread, and I do have a knot in the end just for the purpose of this demonstration. So I'm going to be taking my needle from the back to the front of my work, and I'm just going to sew a simple square. So I've done my first line of stitching. And you can see that I'm coming in very close, but not through the same hole that I did before. So my next line of stitching will be parallel to the one I've just created. Just going to keep doing that. There we have our satin stitch.
welcome back to this hour. I'm joined again by the lovely Janis, and this is So Organised. So we've got some fantastic different organisational things for your sewing room. So we're working with a pattern that's got 13 different projects in there for you. So loads of different ideas for your sewing room, or for any room, in fact. It doesn't have to be for a sewing room. So storage options and different things, but I'll talk you through those in a second. You might have spotted this is all about the really lovely sewing fabric in this hour, and I don't mean sewing as in for you to sew with, I mean sewing as in the prints are perfect for a sewing enthusiast. So this is the Notions range from Makower, and it's got a really lovely collection of buttons and reels and tape measures and all things you would find in your sewing bag. So I'll start with this particular fabric, which is a buttons one. Buttons on cream. It's almost like a creamy grey on the background there. And these look really realistic, these buttons, you know, they're to size. All different sizes scattered around with your greens, your navies, your reds, your purples. Again, by the ½ metre, that buttons on cream. So that one is £5.45 for that one there. The next one is the tape measure. So this is the one we really like. This has been used, you can see here, we're going to, on what we're making. This also works perfectly for binding, because if I turn it around, you can see the numbers. You've got all those little increments marked off there on your rulers and your tape measures. Again, that yellow palette. A vintagey feel to this, and quite a classic. You could do loads of different things with that, lots of different projects. Then your next one is your cotton reels. So you've got all different colours, your nice rich colour palette here with your purples, your yellows, your greens, your nice dark reds. That's so lovely, that one. Again, from that Notions range, £5.45 per ½ metre. So we're doing sewing with sewing fabric and for a sewing room. So we're tripling up on sewing today. Then this next one, this has got a really classic feel to it, actually. It's like an old-fashioned sewing machine on this dusty purple. So you can see that there. So sort of a darker purple coming in on the detail of the sewing machine. We'll come back to that one in a second. I don't think it's on the system, so you'll see the graphics of that in a second. And then we've got this one, which is like your like a workroom, all the inside of a cupboard or your sewing boxes. So all your notions there in the fabric. This is the sort of fabric where the closer you look, the more you see. So there's loads of different. I've got it upside down. So you've got cotton reels and scissors and bows and knitting needles and your tape measures. So this here working really beautifully with that tape measure fabric. It just picks out the detail. Perfect for the sewing enthusiast. So the pattern, we've got this butterick pattern on today's show, and there are 13 different projects in here, which obviously is an awful lot, and you don't have to worry because it's not clothes. There's no worrying about sizing. It's just, you know, this one pattern. So some examples of the things you can do. You've got here this hanging sort of that you could use. You quite often see those on a washing line, don't you, with your pegs in. We've actually got it here. Let me show you. So we've made that on an earlier show. Really useful for storage. I also said earlier, I think you could hang that in your wardrobe and hang accessories in there, you know, whether that's belts or gloves and scarves or anything like that. So there are also a few other projects in here. I'll just show you some of the others. There's an ironing board cover, an ironing board storage caddy. There's a chair cover. We've made quite a few projects from this pattern. There's another chair cover here. Then there's this wall, these different wall hangings that have got pockets on them. So lots of different options. I'm going to take this one over with me, actually. Let's go and see Janis. And she's got the apron on.
Got the apron on.
It's perfect. Let's have a look at Janis. Give us a twirl.
Give you a twirl.
Brilliant. I love it. That's that tape measure fabric. So it is, isn't it?
I made this in an early show.
Oh, did you? I missed that one.
So it's nice, isn't it?
That's cool. I really, really like that. And you've got the pockets there too.
I know. There we go. Give us a pose.
So also in the kitchen, if you've got measurements, it's still relevant, isn't it? You've got to weigh things out
really
and measure.
Yep.
Really nice.
So it's great fabrics, again.
Nice and easy to work with and just...
Yeah, and it's ideal for sewists.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely, with all these different
It's got something
fabrics.
to appeal, hasn't it?
It has.
So this is what we're making today.
So we're making the chair organiser today.
I don't know if you can see, we kind of need you to see it on a chair, but it hangs over the chair with these Velcro strips. And then you've got that pocket there in the tape measure fabric. So this is what we're making from that pattern, which is on your screen, VBBR03. You can see that's just going to hang on the back of a chair there like that.
That's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, so that was the...
so fun making it.
Yeah, well, did you have fun making it?
Yeah, I had fun making it.
So how do we start?
Right, so the first thing we do, you cut the pattern out, follow it all. You interface the front, one piece of the front and back, which I've already done.
Okay.
So if I just show you the interfacing on one piece, just to give it that bit of strength. So that's what we do.
So this is that for, if I undo this,
actual
just so you
front
can
and
see
the back.
that shape.
That's it.
So this is this section, isn't
That's
it?
it. The back. But what I've actually done, I've again cut out the Velcro 2 3/4 inches, 2 3/4 inches in centimetres is 7 centimetres.
Okay.
So I've cut it out 7 centimetres, and it shows you on the actual pattern where to apply the soft Velcro, because you've got two sides to the Velcro course. You've got the softer side and the rough
the
side.
teeth of it, yeah.
And which is like
Because
teeth,
actually
like
this
you say.
morning when I looked at this, I was going, this isn't going to do up because they're in the same place. But you're all right, the same two are going to go on that bottom.
They're going to go on the bottom. That's it. So that's the soft part, and that's what I did first.
So we interfaced
So
first.
interface this, and then I just put the Velcro on there. But it shows you placement lines where to put the actual Velcro and everything as well.
Excellent.
So, but first of all, first we're going to do is the pockets. We start off with the pocket on the front, and we've got to bind this. So again, you can buy shop bought binding or from the sewing quarter binding, or make your own, which we're going to do.
It's a very unusual shaped pocket, isn't it? It's like a scallop sort of...
So what we have to do is mitre the corner as well on the binding.
Oh, bind to the corner. Oh, okay.
So that if you look on here, it has a good finish.
Oh, yes.
So you have to mitre that corner with the binding, which I will show you as well.
Okay, we'll just see, so you can see that there.
So you can see that there. So
but you can see that curve, just adding that extra detail, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nice, I like that.
So it's nice, isn't it? So the first thing we do is get our fabric.
So we're using this to bind with?
We're using this to bind with.
It looks so... There was a... what was it that we had in our offices that was binded with this? Was it the wall hanging? And
yes,
it looks really... this
hanging.
works so well, the binding, just because you've got that... The tape measure is almost acts as a guide for how wide you're going to make it, doesn't it?
It's really good, the wall organised that you saw. It was absolutely lovely, wasn't it? So I'm going to turn the fabric upside down because the markings, I think, will show better on the reverse on this fabric.
Yes, quite busy.
So what you would normally do, first of all, is measure round the top of this to what you need in the actual binding. And I've measured this at about 18 inches, so I'll do it 19 inches just to be on the safe side. So that's about 17, 18, but I'll do it 19.
Best to have a little bit more.
The first thing I do is use my square and my actual marker.
Where's it gone?
Did I put it over it? Sorry, Amy.
No, it's fine.
So and then on my actual square, we've got the 45-degree angle there. You've got the 60 angle and 30 angle, but of course, in this case, it's 45 degrees angle for your bias binding.
Yeah.
So I just start at the one corner, and I'm going to do it 2 inches wide, so the binding ends up 1 inch wide.
Okay.
So, and what I will do first of all is mark the 45-degree angle from there down to there. And then I mark it again as I've got the square from there.
All your details of this are in the pattern, so that's the one on your screen at the moment.
Yeah.
You've got 13 different projects in there, so not just this,
more.
not just the chair caddy. You can see there on your screen, you've got all the pattern inside, but for different things. So the wall organisers with different pockets, and then you've also got a pin cushion with a little bin on the side of it, a mug organiser, a chair back organiser, an ironing cover. So loads of options there.
Lots of options.
Really great value for money. VBBR03, all for under £10, so £8.95 for that one. So we're just joining the dots.
Joining the
on
dots.
that 45.
Yeah. And then, if you've got a triangle, that's even better.
Easier.
So, and then I'll measure 2 inches going across. And then 2 inches going across. That's all I'm doing, is just measuring the 2 inches going across.
Okay.
2 inches.
Just creating that strip.
That's it.
To create the binding.
All the way down. It's all different ways. People do it all different ways, but I've always done it like this. So, and then again, join the ends.
Making your lines.
Making the lines.
So this is where we're putting the binding. This one's actually been done in a solid colour here on this pocket, but we're creating it in the tape measure fabric. So you can just see how that's edged there on the pocket.
And of course you just angle the ends.
So we've got a really sort of vintage, classic feel to it, hasn't it, this fabric?
Then all I'll do is just angle the ends. That's it. So then we just quickly cut that out. Here's my left-handed scissors. Let's just make sure it's long enough, which I'm hoping it will be.
Would you say 19 inches?
Yeah, it's plenty.
Yeah.
Plenty. So I'll just cut that out anyway, even if it's over, so that's it. The thing is with bias, it does take a lot of fabric. So
because you're cutting,
you have to cut, and it's like dresses that are cut on the bias. You get the cuts because they're cut on the bias,
yeah,
but
so it has to be cut
a
that
lot
way,
of fabric when it's cut on the bias.
You need some little small projects for your sort of leftovers, don't you, really?
You do.
But there are some smaller projects in there, like there's a pin cushion and a mug cover that's got... This is actually quite unusual, I've never seen that. There's a mug cover here, it's a mug organiser, but you could pop it over, obviously if you weren't drinking out of it, and to put pens and things in. So something like that, I imagine, is going to use a lot less fabric. It's obviously a smaller project. If you've cut something, on the bias like that, you might have leftovers enough to make one of those.
That's it.
One of those smaller ones. 13 projects in there. That is a lot. Really great value.
Now I've also angled the ends because normally when you join bindings together, you actually... That's how you do it with the angles. And now when I do bias, I just automatically...
Just on autopilot.
But you don't need to. You only have to square them off if you want to. So then what you have to do then is press in both sides. Or you can use a binder.
Oh, yes.
Binding machine. So if I can just pinch...
What would you like?
The seam ripper would be great.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. So what you can do then is tuck your it through, and then I just pull it through.
This is a bias tape maker, isn't it?
Maker, yeah.
So easy.
So just bring it through, and then press it.
So this one is your 25mm bias maker. You can see as Janis starts to pull this out now, it just does that work for you. You've just got to press it as you pull it through.
That's it.
And we're creating an inch. This is a 2-inch strip, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then we're creating an inch.
They always do
bias
this.
binding.
No. It does normally work, it's just a bit tricky at the moment, so I've just probably pulled it through a bit.
So this is what we're making. You can see on your screens there. You've got the hanger and the pocket for the chair cover, using those really beautiful sewing fabrics. So we'll just talk you through the fabrics so you know which ones it is that we're working with. We've got that tape measure one to start with that Janis is wearing in the really lovely apron, but also that we're using for the bias binding. I'll just show you this here. So this is a metre. You can see that tape measure there stretched all the way across the fabric. You can get it in half-metre increments, so this is cut off the bolt by the half-metre. Lots of multi-buys on this, actually. I mean, even if you bought half a metre, you could do so much bias binding. If you were just using each one of those strips, you'd get so much out of that. And you could fussy cut as well. You could take, a small section of it and add that on just to add some detail. That reminds me of a really a tight version of Snakes and Ladders as I held that up and saw that on the screen there. So all of your haberdashery and notions are sort of coming through in these fabrics, are printed on there. We'll look at the cotton reels next. I'm surprised we've not had any puns from producer Paul about this. This is really good. Oh, he's got a cotton on. They're coming, they're coming. So this is your cotton reels one. You can see there all of the spools sort of dotted through the fabric, and they're packed really tightly together. We've made here, I'll show you this, there's a lovely makeup sort of toiletry bag there made out of those reels. And then also there's this hanger, which is out of the pattern that's on today's show, which you can see they're perfect for, as I said before, you can keep your pegs in that on the washing line, or you could keep things in your wardrobe all in one place. I really like that, really lovely. And then we also had the buttons fabric that we're using for the chair cover, which is this one here. Really realistic little buttons on here with lots of detail in them. They're not all the same, they're all different. Lots of different colours and designs, sort of a shell type button there, a stripy one, a flower, an iridescent red one, your browns and taupes coming through. Buttons on cream. Really, really nice. I like that one. And then our last one, again, all bought by the half metre, is the haberdashery boxes, which we've just seen on that chair cover that we're making. This would just look amazing if you have a sewing room or a craft room, or perhaps if you want to make a bag to take to sewing classes, this is absolutely perfect. There's going to be no question about what this is going to be used for. So this is the boxes fabric with all of your things stored in those boxes, your ribbon, tape measure, scissors. Really nice. So we've also got some solids that we are pairing with those. I'll just quickly show you those that will be really good for binding any of these projects. The colour palette just working really well. And you can just see how these fabrics work really, you know, they complement. They're from the same collection, from that Notions collection from Makower. And you can see there just how they work as a team. I'm doing a bit of a balancing act there with fabric. I'll quickly show you the solids. So you've got here a port colour, a really lovely, rich, uniform red there. So this is a Spectrum solid, again from Makower, 325. Working really well with that boxes one, if you can see that here. Perfect. Then you've also got a lovely sort of a light grey there. Again, working with the boxes, but also this is a glacier grey. Taking the hard work out of it in matching them up. Let's have a look. These two, they're working really well. This is a premiere of Glacier Grey. We haven't had this one on the show before. So a slightly different solid to anything you might have ever seen. Again, 325 per half metre for that one there. And your last one is a classic cream colour that you've got here. So this is just called cream. It's like a buttermilky, lovely creamy type colour. Again, apparently this has never been on air before. This is a premiere of this Spectrum solid. So if you're joining us for the first time and you're buying something new, this is an option. So working really well with those Notions fabrics in those busy patterns from the sewing range. So we'll get back over to Janice. We were doing our bias binding, weren't we?
So I've done the binding, and I've actually pressed it all in, and then I've actually pressed it in half again. Because we're doing mitring, it's easier for us to apply the binding already folded, and not normally like you would with it being opened out. So the next thing we've got to do is pin it, and then machine it to the top of the pocket. So we just take it in.
Okay. Do you have to just ease that into the curve?
Yeah, we just ease it in to the actual curve.
So if you were a beginner, what's mitring?
I'll show you mitring when we get there.
I'm skipping ahead.
The mitring is at the corner. So what we've got to do first is just get this pinned in as far as where we're going to mitre the corner.
To the point.
So this is how you mitre corners with bias binding. Okay. So you actually pin it in. Now normally again, you can always tack it if you're unsure.
Yep.
You can tack it.
Have that as an
So,
option.
as an option. So that's your binding. That's it.
So the graphic on your screen there is for this boxes fabric, which is the main body of the pocket that we're making. So GNMY78 for that one, and that's 545. We noticed with the tape measure that there's actually a tape measure within the boxes on the fabric, so it ties in really well with this binding that Janis is just pinning on for us.
So you pin to the corner here, and then you're going to machine up to this end here, and you have to machine right to the end on here. So we're going to do an 1/8 of a machine stitch, and then we do it right up to.
So we're doing one pocket up to the point, and then we stop.
Just the one side. So I always do my pins the wrong way round and do it the wrong way round, but there we go. Right, so if I do this from this side, and just the needle down, I'll take the pins out as I go along, and then get my seam ripper to hold it down as though I've got a pin there. So we just machine and we just do a reverse stitch to hold it in place on the ends. So we're now just machining that out.
I'm just going to quickly, while Janis is doing that, I think I'm just going to change Janis's microphone. I don't know if we're having a problem with that. So I'm just going to quickly show you the pattern so you can know what's happening in there. You can see that on your screen there, VBBR03. That's the sewing pattern. So you've got loads of different options in there for a sewing room, but also projects that would be great for a playroom or a bedroom, you know, a child's bedroom. You always need places to keep things, don't you, and keep them nice and neat and tidy. So 13 patterns in there, 13 projects, whether that's a hanger that you can put pegs and things in, or a wall hanging with different pocket options. Options for, you know, for a utility room, you've got an iron cover or an ironing board storage solution there. 2 different chair covers. Again, you could use one in the car. They're not limited to your sewing room. And then a sewing room organiser as well that you could pop underneath your sewing machine with little pockets on it. So all those patterns in there for £8.95. Then we've also got our fabric. So we've got the buttons one there that you can see, which is on cream. So all different colourful buttons. All of these from the Notions range are £5.45 per half metre, so no difference in price in all of these designs today. WUMY49. That's next up. We've got that boxes one, which we've used on the pockets. It looks in real life. I think that looks very busy on your screen. I think if you when you see it, it's it really is beautiful, and it's the colours working really well together in that vintage sort of palette. So Janis is back. We can hear you.
You can
Let's
hear
go
me
back
now.
to where we were. Sorry about that. We're back. We didn't want to let you carry on talking while we couldn't hear you properly.
So I'm just doing an 8 on the actual seam, and then you have to sew it right to that corner.
Okay.
So here we have to just be a bit careful because you just need to go right to the end. That's it. That's it. And you do a little bit of a reverse stitch and then go back to the end just to hold it in place. Then you have to... That's it. You have to then trim the corner, take it away from the machine.
Okay.
And then what you have to do... So at the moment then, you've got the actual bias coming round to the edge there.
Yep.
So then what you do, you open this out, you fold it in, and you take that other part, if you can see. So again, I'll do it again. You open it out, then you bring this other side of the pocket round to there. Then you close it up, but then you fold that in down.
So it's creating a point at the top.
So it's creating a point, like you say, at the top, and it's the same both sides. So, and then you go round and you pin it quickly.
So the boxes is the most popular one from this range this morning so far, which is the one, this pocket that you can see here now.
And then if you look, if you can see there, that's what you have on the front and the back as well, and that's what it's called,
a really
my
neat
trim.
finish.
So it's just a neat finish again. So then what you do then is you go down the rest of it, and you go back, happy as Larry, folding it over as you do, like you did the other side. Pin that.
I suppose as well, you know, in terms of dividing that pocket, we've split that into two, where that's almost like quilted there, isn't it? But there's nothing to stop you if you wanted to make one smaller section, perhaps to keep scissors in or a pen. You could put another divide in here, or further along, you could split it into 4 or into 3. How much fabric did we use for this?
Not a lot. It was only like half a metre, if that.
Oh, really? Half a metre for that?
Yeah.
The main body of the chair cover, and then obviously your additional one for the pocket.
Yeah. But it'd be nice even if it's in the same fabric.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Because even what you could do with the pocket is not open it up there, and you could put books in there because it's on the chair.
Yeah.
You could have it
Magazines
for magazines or any books. You don't have to do that stitching line down the middle.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So
you probably just, for all of those projects,
even
if you just had a couple of metres of these different fabrics, you could probably do most of these, all 13 projects out of a couple of metres. And then you can mix and match the materials.
Easy.
So you as well, then you get that.
It's well worth the
It's nice to have
the pattern.
Accessories that all match, isn't it?
It is, and they're doing a lot with these patterns now. They're putting more into them, aren't they? So it's really good. So that's it. So again, then you just put your foot needle back down into your stitching. Use your seam ripper, hold it down, and then even that can push it through.
Okay. All the cotton reels are creeping into the lead. They've taken.
Are they?
They've taken over.
I love that.
The cotton reel you can see there on your screen.
Hold on, I've unthreaded.
A classic vintage feel to those.
Machine's unthreaded. Okay.
With all of your reds and navies and greens. So that one's in the lead. HTMY08545 per half metre.
It's nice to see what's in the lead, isn't it?
It's really interesting. And it's interesting how it changes throughout the show.
It's amazing what people like.
Yeah.
You get to know what they like, don't you? It's really good.
But this really does, I know it sounds very obvious, but it really is just exactly like a tape measure, just in a different colour.
It is very much so.
I thought this one might be the most popular, actually, just because it's great for binding and things, but...
Yeah.
The tape measure one's just coming up on your screens there now. So again, that's $5.45 per half metre.
No, not a bad price, are they?
No, not at all.
Because it is a lovely fabric and lovely to work with. So you do get nice fabrics at the sewing quarter, I must admit. Even though I say so myself. No. Well, you can't, because you want people who make things from what you're selling to have a nice finish.
Well, absolutely.
And if you sell rubbish fabric, you get what you pay for every time.
And also, the thing is, if you're going to invest the time and energy into making something, why would you make something that then doesn't have a nice feel or finish to it, or durability?
Yeah, it's true. Very true, Amy. So if I just trim my bits of cotton off, then what we're going to do next is apply this onto the front of the...
this one.
On the front.
Is it the one with the Velcro?
That's it.
This one without the interfacing on.
That's it.
So it's a nice simple make this hour.
It is.
This would be fine for a beginner, wouldn't it?
Yeah, ever so. And it
gets
people used to knowing how to use
Assemble
the machine and stuff like that as well. So now also it's not that side, it's the other side, because what we've got notches, and the notches are for the these straps that I'm going to show you how to make in a bit. And we've got the notches up here, if you look. So they're the ones where we have to attach these. So it's the other side that we put this on. So we have to then just pin that on.
These colours just are all complementary.
They're just all complementary.
They all really match well.
That's it. So pin that on.
I don't know if you can see here, but there's this is the tape measure that's exactly the same as we've just put on the binding. So there are running sort of iconic sewing things that run through all of those fabrics.
It's lovely. If I turn it round, people can see it now a bit more, can't they? So just stitch it. And then what we've got to do, on the actual pattern piece, there's a stitching line where I've actually tailor tacked. Now, I did say I wasn't going to do tailor tacks again, but you have to with dark fabrics because you can't always see the marker.
No.
So what we've got to do next, after I've just pinned it there,
Create the pocket?
Create the pocket. So we're just going to run a stitching line all the way up to there. So if I just pop a pin in either side of there as well.
Again, this is the point where we were saying if you wanted to create different sections on your pockets,
you can.
Then you could do that. You could make a smaller one or one big pocket.
That's it. So then I'm just going to stitch a line straight up the middle.
Lovely.
So.
That fabric, particularly the boxes one, every time you look at it, you see something different, don't you? Like, there's a little doll here that I've just spotted that's got a nice little crown on their head. There's knitting needles, there's a selection of buttons and cotton reels, and what else have we got in here?
So even for knitting, you can put wool
yes.
on the side.
Yeah, you could. There's knitting actually.
And there's knitting needles
there's
on
balls
there,
of wool in the actual fabric and knitting needles.
That's what I just spotted, to be honest. And I thought, oh.
Really popular, this one. Lots of people multi-buying.
That's it. So pull this out, oops, without going under your pockets, and then we just snip the cotton. And again, because you want a nice little finish, see that piece of cotton?
Just trim
normally,
it off.
We'll trim it off, but normally I'd go in and just secure it a bit more. And then you can just rip your tailor's tacks out.
Satisfying job, I think.
So that's it.
So you'd only need a couple of metres of all these different fabrics if you wanted to tackle, all
quite
13 projects in that pattern. And then you've got the option to pick a mix and use, a little bit of the tape measure one for a binding or a little bit of the button
one. It's nice because you can create your own design.
Yeah, it's personal.
And it's nice, isn't it? So, again...
We've all got different tastes and...
So, after you've done that, and normally I give you to press at this stage, but we can do that afterwards.
Okay.
We then have this piece where we're going to have to do our tabs. Now, I've already made the tabs, and these are what goes
here
on these. Yeah.
That's it.
So, and we've got our markings. So, on the actual pattern piece, if you look, you've got your fold line where you're going to fold it in half after you've sewn it together.
Yeah.
But there's your placement line, if you can see that. And that's where you put the Velcro. So you put your Velcro in 4 places. So you have two there.
Yeah.
And then
on the
actual fabric. And then you have 2 on the actual 2 pieces on the actual tabs. So it's on the fabric and on the tabs. So what you do, they're your markings, so you can see where I've actually used the fabric marker to put through into the actual tabs, because that's what you're going to join to the markings we have on here. So what you have to do, you put your Velcro on, then you actually fold the pattern, the fabric in half, wrong sides together, and you machine down one side and up the other side, and then you turn it.
Okay.
And that's what you end up with.
So we've got a fold and then 2 stitched sides and then turning out.
And the turning out. So then the way you place these are, you do on the front, face down, and you've got your notches there. So you place that one like that, notch to notch, and you can see the back of the notch markings I've got on the notch there. So we stick a pin in there.
There's 2 different options for your Velcro, by the way. So the white one is on your screens at the moment, YTGQ12, that's $3.95. So you get 60 centimetres by 19 millimetres in terms of the width of the Velcro. And there's also a black one that's just will pop up.
And then you put that one.
So where you've marked on there, you're just lining those up. So I guess it really depends on which fabric you use, whether you'd go for a black or white Velcro.
That's it.
I think the white works well for this one. It's a bit...
And then, oops.
Oh, Karen's been in touch. Morning, Karen. From Stoke-on-Trent. She loves the boxes fabric. It is really, really lovely. Let us know what you're going to make with it. Have you got something in mind, or you just fancy adding it to your stash this morning? That's the thing, isn't it? Sometimes something just you don't even have a project in mind, but you just think, oh, I like that.
It's true. So then all we're going to do is just machine down just to secure those in place. Okay. So again, but I'm only going to do 1/4 inch on this because the seam is going to be 5/8, of course.
And the Velcro is down to the onto the right side of the fabric.
Right side of the fabric on the front. That's it. So again, just machine it down. And this time I'm like doing 1/4 inch so that it doesn't get taken into the seam. The 5/8 seam when we attach to the back. So do that.
So this one's your buttons fabric that we're just putting through the machine now. This one's slightly less busy. I think it works really well if you're teaming it with one of the slightly bolder prints.
That's it.
It's sort of a little bit of respite for your eyes.
It is really, isn't it?
It's just more gentle.
It's gentle. And of course, like the Velcro, you just get to match whatever fabric you're using, how dark you go.
You can just pick whichever one.
Whichever one you want. But then again, some people probably like it just left.
It doesn't
with
really
a dark colour on. Right. So then all we need to do then is attach this side.
Okay. So we go right sides together?
Right sides together. That's it.
So again, all the information in the pattern with your 13 different projects. So so I don't know if you can see here, if we have a look. There's a really nice iron cover.
Just want to make sure I've got that
which is great if you want to, just to protect your iron. If you have it out all of the time as well, it just makes it look slightly more aesthetically pleasing. Then you've also got a caddy that just hangs over your ironing board.
I think it's the other way around. This is where it gets complicated because you have to think, hang on a minute, that's got to be the other way around.
Oh, so you mirror the...
So the one knot of Velcro's there and then the other down there.
So you pop the other Velcro where the pocket is.
That's it.
Yeah. I guess, let me show you on the finished one. Sometimes it's easier to see, isn't it? So you've got your pocket there, here on the front, and then you want to end up with the Velcro here on that same side as the pocket.
I'll pin it this way.
And then you've also got Velcro on those tabs there, which you can just see here. And this is eventually going to, you can see more clearly actually perhaps with the black, that the fabric's looking amazing, and that's going to just touch up onto there to create something to hang over the chair.
It's a lovely idea, a chair organiser.
It is, isn't it? Particularly if it's not a particularly attractive chair, it just, or if it is a way of revamping it without covering it.
It's true. Hides it, doesn't it?
So it's an old wooden or plastic chair that you want to make look a bit more for a child's bedroom as well. If they've got a little desk or something, and you just want something with a few pockets to store things in.
To store things in, ideal for the children.
Gets it off the floor, doesn't it?
So now all I do is take my pins out that I used on the front and just pop it in. And what you have to make sure you do at this stage as well, you leave an opening so that you can turn it right side out. So at the moment, it's all the right sides together.
Okay. So an easy pattern to follow, this one.
It is an easy pattern. But it's amazing. Easy patterns can be a bit of a devil sometimes.
Oh, really?
The easier.
You almost trick yourself out
You do. You think, hang on a minute, I forgot that right. And we all do it, don't we? We all,
Well, I think sometimes as well, if you just go into it thinking, oh, yeah, this is easy, and you just whiz away, and then you think, oh, no, hang on.
What have I done wrong?
Yeah.
And some things you do, you think, oh, you're so stupid.
Still got to keep your brain in gear.
Yeah. Now, what I actually did, I left my opening at the top. I left the pockets as is, and I left my opening here so that I wouldn't disturb this slot as I was going round. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
for turning through, you've gone all the way round, past the pocket.
Past the pocket, and I've left about 8 inches.
Just here.
Just here to turn it. So, and then I machine from the bit down there. So I will now machine
all the way round.
All the way from there, round, up, round, and stop here, so that I know where to finish.
Okay.
So, and that's what I'm going to do now. So if I just move these out the way, apart from the seam ripper. And then when we turn it, we just hope for the best.
That it's all in the right place and that the Velcro's going to stick.
And if it's not, I made one early.
This is why we have this one, just in case.
Just in case.
Which Janis did also make, so you still get the credit.
It's when you're at home, you think, oh, I can afford to do bits a bit, you know, at home. But when you're on air, you have to think.
Well, as well at home, obviously, you can take your time.
You can take your time.
You don't need to.
No.
It's slightly more.
That's it. So again, I'm sewing 5/8, just a 5/8 line. Get to the corner, then I'll do needle in and pivot. So guesstimate 5/8, turn round, leave the needle in, pivot, turn it, and get back on that 5/8 line.
Lovely.
And since these machines have had linings on them, they've been great.
Just so much easier to follow as a guide.
Yeah.
This is a similar process to a cushion, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
because
Exactly.
It's a very similar. If you were doing a rectangular cushion, and then you're doing the exact same thing of putting the fabric together, turning it out, creating that shape.
But
if you made a cushion,
it is an easy pattern. It's quick to make, and the varieties you can have from that actual pattern, you can really, you know.
Well, it was even I noticed on this one. So there are 3 different here wall organisers, and they're even giving you the option for all different pocket options. So whether you have one big strip pocket there that you can store books or magazines in, then you've got this one here with much smaller pockets. This one with sort of 2 front pockets there. So lots of options to customise it according to what you want to make. 13 projects in there for £8.95. Really, really good value. I feel like I keep saying it, but it's just because it's true.
It's true.
It's a really lovely one.
You don't get a lot for your money nowadays.
No,
really.
trying to stretch it. And if you get 13 out of it, that's a lot of entertainment. Something entertainment for us. Which fabric's in the lead now? Still the boxes, followed by the cotton reels.
The cotton reels is nice.
They are all lovely. We've used the cotton reels actually on that makeup bag. I'm just going to grab it.
Do one more.
You can see here, they're both £5.45 per half metre, but you can see there in that lovely wall hanger. It almost looks sort of like a dotty fabric, and then you look closer and that's when you notice those reels. And in that makeup bag as well. Really good, really lovely. I like that. Put that in there.
Proper
Very
set,
artistic,
isn't it?
yeah.
Proper set.
I love having everything matching.
It is nice.
So we went all the way around and just left that opening.
And now we're going to turn it all the way around. I'll just get that there, get that there. Trim away the bolt there. No more pins, no.
Just here.
I know there's a few pins there, but I have to turn it to get that out. That's it.
So if you're new to buying fabric from Sewing Quarter, we sell it in half-metre increments. So it's cut off the bolt, cut to measure for you. So if you want 1.5 metres or you're buying a couple of metres so you can make all of these different projects, then you just order it by the half metre. So it's £5.45 for each 0.5 metre section that you buy. So and then the beauty of it is, if you've got the pattern, you've got the pattern as well, and then you can use those different fabrics to create all of those different ones, but through that same notions range from Makower, where you've got the running theme of all that haberdashery. Also, because it's off the bolt, you're getting the whole pattern. You're not getting a section, you're not missing out on any part of the design. You're going to get all of it.
So we now just take the last 2 pins out there.
Here it is.
Did-in.
Need like a drum roll.
That's it. So just now. Whoops.
Again, so quick. 40 minutes, less than 40 minutes.
It is that.
Once you've cut out.
So if I just get this corners out.
Particularly if you're as speedy as Janis this morning. She's on fire. Did you have a cup of coffee before we...
No, I've given up coffee.
Have you?
I have.
You tried to be good?
Yeah. So I'm on to herbal teas at the moment.
I like herbal teas.
I don't know how long that'll last for.
What's your favourite one?
I do like the chamomiles.
A nice soft,
the soft
easy
ones,
one to
yeah.
drink. Some of them can be quite perfumey, can't they?
But pomegranate's nice.
Yes, I had one of those this morning.
They're nice, aren't
yeah,
they?
it's a really nice one.
So pomegranate's really just come back into fashion, hasn't it? So
there it is.
So Taylor's tax. Oh, I'll bother with them later. So that's the other side.
Do you know what? As I've just seen that there, you can see if you had a couple of chairs at a table. These would look really, you know, you could, but they work because you've got that running theme of the fabric through. When you see them side by side, you see that collection sort of coming together. I like that. Looks really cool.
And then
that's definitely going to brighten up your room, your craft room, or a bedroom.
They're lovely, aren't they?
Yeah,
or
a conservatory. Even, you know, if you've got chairs around a table.
So that goes to there. That goes to there. But then I've got to just then sew up the sides here.
Okay.
So we'll get that done.
How are we going to do that?
Finished. Now I do try and do a ladder stitch because ladder stitch is quite invisible. Do you know what I mean?
It's going to disappear.
So it will disappear. So if I just...
Do you want to press it?
Yeah, we can do, can't we? I think it'd be nicer if we press it. Everything looks nicer when it's pressed, doesn't it? So if we just press it first. And then... Watch your hands.
Can you just iron over Velcro? No worries, you don't have to...
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. That's it. So we just get the other side done. And then, of course, if you try and get your corners out again, the trick again with that is a needle and thread. Go into the seam and yank it out, and I'll show you that in a bit.
Which is your favourite fabric, Janis? Well, that was like a really tough decision.
It is because they're all beautiful. Because on the buttons, they're the old vintage buttons
and
that I
really
recognise.
Details, aren't
that
they?
I recognise because I've always sewn.
Yeah.
I recognise all the buttons, and it's makes me feel old. But
got nostalgic
yeah,
though.
They're nostalgic, and then I love this because again, it's got everything on it. Then the cotton reels are the colours that you could put that with.
Yeah, pair it with
and
solids.
And then the tape measure, you can't sew without a tape measure, can you?
So all of them. all of them, basically.
I haven't got a favourite. I honestly haven't got a favourite, to be honest. So, because they are all so lovely. Right, let me just get
there's a lovely cute little button. I keep spotting, that's the thing. You keep seeing more things in these fabrics. So I've just spotted a lovely little robin on a button here. But there's loads of different ones, like shells and flowers.
Yeah, it's lots of little things,
really,
isn't
the little heart one here. Like a gingham button. Really, really lovely.
It is really nice. So this is curling up now because it's been on the machine. So I hope I can thread it. Yes, I can. So, just a trick, if you haven't seen the shows earlier, when I've shown you how to get your seams out. So, if you want to have a nice fine finish, what you have to do, you just go into the seam that you want to bring out.
1 second, we'll just wait so you can see on a close-up. You just pop that in again for us.
Yeah.
1 sec.
So, if you pop...
Here it is.
Pop it right into the seam, pull it through, and then just pull. And as you can see, it's pulling the seam out, so you get that crisp finish.
So it's pulling the fabrics taut together.
That's
so
it.
It's nice and
so
tight.
It's bringing it out. And then you just go in again, come out, and then pull. And do that all along, and then press it as you're going along, and that brings the actual seam
bringing them much
right
tighter
out.
together.
Yeah. So that's...
Because that thread's sort of pushing in against the two fabrics and moving it out, so it's nice and stretched.
So if you can't get in to press the seam, that's the way of bringing it out. Yeah. So then we just want to start sewing up.
Without...
I've got to find the hole now because we've pressed it. I can't find the hole.
Which side is it on?
Hang on. There. Yes. Got it. So again, I use a double thread because it's just automatically doubled anyway.
So we've had another message from Erica.
Hello,
to say
Erica.
she's loving the show. Oh, thank you very much, Erica, if you're loving the show. We're lovely to have you with us.
It's nice having
Couldn't
nice
get my words out
comments.
there.
It's nice
It's
having
so
nice
lovely to hear
comments.
from you. Honestly, it makes such a difference when we know sort of what you're up to, or if you've got questions, or what your thoughts on the show. It's really great to hear from you. It's a nice interactive community here at Sewing Quarter. If you've got any questions as well, just send us a message and we'll always try and answer them on air.
Everything we can, we'll answer for you.
If we've got the answers, of course.
Yeah, we've always got the answers. Or we can look them up. So we just go in, tuck that knot in, pull it up just below the fold.
Yep.
Pull that out if I can. And then just go back into the other side and just before the fold. And then just close it up like that and just do that all the way down. Just give it a bit of a stitch. So
taking a piece from each side, basically.
That's it. And if you look, you can't see it. Just again, in. I always just go under the fold. And this only takes seconds to close up as well. It doesn't take long. Because you're travelling at quite a distance underneath in each stitch.
Ah, so you're
it's quite
gaining
quick.
momentum quite quickly.
So I'm doing it quite quick. Again, you can be more accurate than me.
But it's just giving that same finish as we've got all the way round with those neat edges sort of folded and pulled really tight together. Rather than, it being obvious where we left the gap.
You've left the gap. So I always do projects like this, I always end up sewing it.
Ladder stitching.
Like ladder stitching, yeah.
So this is the buttons fabric from the Notions range, and the one you can see on your screen is Boxes fabric, which is this one. I'll show you here. So this is the one with all those, and this is the most popular. You've got all those notions there that you can see. Your reels of cotton and knitting and little needles. Something else pops out every time you look at it. Here's the little doll that I was talking about earlier, and knitting needles. You've got sort of spools of cotton, your scissors, reels of thread, a box of buttons. So many things in there to catch your eye.
You won't get nothing made because you'll be...
No, too busy sort
you'll
of
be
looking
studying
at
the fabric. So that's not what to do, girls. Have a look. When you buy the fabric, have a look on the night before you're going to start sewing.
Spend some time looking at
the fabric. And then...
But you could fussy cut this too, couldn't you? If you wanted to, take one of the boxes...
That's it.
And just... and applique it on.
Yeah, applique it. Yeah, ever so true. Applique it.
It'd be really cool. And the cotton reels is the next one in the lead, so I'll show you it here in a makeup bag. Again, 100% cotton from Makower. This whole Notions range, perfect for sewing, with the classic vintage colour palette. You can really see those popping. And the reels themselves actually look like they've got a shine to them and a sheen. They look 3D, they don't look flat. The colour is really, really popping on that one there. So that's the cotton reels. I don't know if that's on the bottom. Yeah, that's on the bottom. HTMY08 for that one.
There you go.
So we've finished our
Voila.
ladder stitching.
Voila.
Voila. That's everything, isn't it?
That's it.
We've done. We've made it. Start to finish.
Start to finish. So put that one there. And like you say, you can make them in all different colours.
Yeah.
And have them all on your chairs. Even in computer rooms, children's rooms, studies.
Really good in a study. As you were saying before, if we didn't put that pocket in, if you had this in a study, you could have books or magazines in the back of this whole wide pocket.
Yeah.
And
it'd be lovely.
And also the scalloped shape there, just that extra detail, isn't it?
That's it.
Rather than a flat.
It's just nice, isn't it? Because it's that, you see, the fabric there, it's got the tape measures in, and that's the tape measures going round. Or you could put the cotton reels round it.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Because you've got cotton reels, you can put the cotton reels round it as a binding.
It's really up to you, whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want to do.
Just so you can see it if we lift it up. I don't know. It's a shame we haven't got an arm of a chair to hang on, but that's how it's going to go on the back of a chair there. So you can see how that's going to hang. And then you've got those two Velcro straps to just keep it nice and secure. And then your pocket's there.
It's all right. I've got a thing about cotton hanging.
Pockets there on the front where you can just pop everything in.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Really lovely. So this is from the Butterwicks pattern that we're working with this morning, with all different projects in there, 13 different projects. Which other ones would you tackle if you were? What other ones take your fancy?
I like the wall hanging with the different pockets on.
Shall I show? just so you can see.
I love that one, but it is mounted on boards as well.
Oh,
one.
right, okay.
So it
like
needs
a canvas
bit more.
print, almost like a print. Yeah.
So it's like a picture
with pockets.
But it's again, if you look, you've got your magazines, you've got your patterns. It's just they're just really good.
And that's that mug storage caddy we were talking about earlier, which is a really nice. You know, if you've got an old mug, just cover it with that, and you can use that. Pop your pens and maybe your seam rippers and things like that in there to store. Then you've got that lovely sewing mat there. Obviously, sometimes your sewing machine makes quite a noise, doesn't it? If it's on a flat surface, that's just going to dull that noise.
That's our sewing organiser.
And to keep your things that you need to hand. Yeah. Your pins.
And that's the chair one we've just done.
Yes, you can see it here on the chair if you want to just know how that's going to look. And again, once you see that in a different fabric, it looks totally different.
It does.
It does, doesn't it? With that floral there.
Ever so fresh looking.
And also, so this ruler, I don't think I mentioned this earlier. A few people have messaged in about this. So you've got that here. It's a 6-inch square, but you were using that for the 6.5 inch. You were using it for bias binding because of that 45-degree
angle
line. What else would you use this for?
A lot of it's quilting.
For quilting?
Well, you know, with fat quarters and you're cutting out the quilting, and you can do it for all sorts of things, really, can't you? So.
And you've got as well, because you've got your markings there in that nice bright, almost sort of a UV fluorescent yellow, and your black, you can see it on a dark or a light fabric. So just check the website for that one. It's the 6.5-inch square, and that's one of our actual sewing quarter ones. So it's our own ruler there. Thank you so much for today, Janis. It's been lovely. I think it's my first show with you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
So lots of fun. I'll be back in 3 minutes, so don't go anywhere. We've got some gorgeous fantasy fabrics.
Bye-bye.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our sewing quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts.
So we're going to show you how to do a backstitch. Now, a backstitch is a great one to use when you haven't got a sewing machine available, but you need to repair or fix a garment. And the backstitch is a really strong stitch to do that with. So I'm going to be using embroidery thread here so you can see what I'm doing, and I have put a knot in the end. First of all, you need to start with the wrong side of the fabric first. So I'm just going to place my needle through to bring it through to the front. And then you're going to go backwards. So I'm going to do quite big stitches here so you can see what I'm doing. So that's the first stitch. Now this time you're going to come and bring your needle through, but the same distance as your stitch. And then you're going to go into the first hole that you came out. And then go back through to the back. And then I'm going to come all the way over again, the same distance. And then through again, and just keep repeating that process. So this is my final stitch now. So as you can see, there's my row of back stitches, and if I just turn that over for a second, you can see that it's almost as if it's double stitched on the back. So you can see it's a really secure stitch to do when you haven't got a sewing machine to hand.
Here at the Sewing Quarter, we want to bring our viewers the best and most exciting opportunities to learn and expand your knowledge. To help do this, we will be bringing in some of the leading industry experts in sewing and quilting to help guide our viewers along the way. Such as Jennifer Taylor, Samantha Claridge, Lucy Brennan, Jo Carter, Angela Atwood, Karen Lewis, Rebecca Reed, and finally Jenny Fox Proverbs, who is the senior editor of Today's Quilter and Love Patchwork and Quilting magazines.
Follow us on Twitter for more inspiration, top tips, news, and share your own creations with us.
Sewing Quarter is at the very heart of sewing as we bring you all things sewing and quilting. The team behind us live and breathe sewing day to day. We strive to bring you exclusive offers, exciting live demonstrations, and most importantly, we will custom cut fabric to your specification in our very own cutting room. We will also be bringing you TV exclusives that you won't be able to find anywhere else. So come and join us today at the Sewing Quarter.
Welcome to the Sewing Quarter!
Welcome back to this, which is our last hour here at Sewing Quarter this morning, and this is a fantasy bedroom hour. I'm so excited. I've never been on the show with these fabrics before, and I absolutely love them. They're really playful, magical, mystical fabrics that would just be perfect for a children's bedroom or a playroom or a nursery, and there's a real sense of fun in all of these fabrics. So you might notice behind me this lovely bunting that you can see, which is just really bright and playful. Lots of different castles and stars and flowers and hearts and little lovebirds there as well. So you can see that on your screen there, the different pennants hanging down. That lovely rainbow. And what we're doing this morning is we're selling that as a kit. So you've got two threads, your Gutermann threads. And then what happens is you get this Makower panel, which is enough. If I open this out, you can see there all of those lovely little flags that you can cut out to make your bunting. So I think there are 6. There are 16 different pennants on there, so which is enough to make how many on this strip? That whole thing. So this panel makes that whole length of bunting, which is obviously loads and loads, really. Sort of lots of length there. Then also you get a Spectrum Solid with that, which is a fuchsia colour that you can team with that for the backing. So you get 1 metre of that Makower Solid, which I'll show you here is just on the backing of the bunting and used for the binding as well. So that pink just tying in really beautifully. So here's the kit. It's $15.95. You've got your threads in there, and you've got your So you've got all the different patterns, the 16 different pennants, and then that Spectrum Solid pink, which matches really beautifully for the background and also for your binding. Plus 2 threads as well. So they just work really well. This would be perfect for a children's party, perhaps if you've got a birthday party coming up, or also for, for a garden party or something like that. It just adds that little extra element of fun. And all of those playful designs. Unicorns and rainbows have really come back into fashion on social media at the moment. There's lots of sort of hype and a buzz, even with with older teenagers and moving into older ages of people loving unicorns and rainbows. And what's not to love? All your stars and gorgeous prints there. I really, really like that. $15.95 for that whole length of bunting with 16 different flags, your solid for the back, and also to create just that strip to hang them all off of. Really, really gorgeous. So I feel like I've got the whole family here with me today, the whole fantasy family. We've also got a cushion kit. So you can see a couple of the finished cushions here. So you can see that one there, which is really lovely, and there's also one behind in a slightly different print of the fabric. So we're selling this one in a kit with the cushion pad. So this is $14.95. It's that heart cushion you can see there. Really lovely with your navies and pinks and turquoises. So you get the cushion pad, which is 14 inches. And then you've also got your 1/2 metre here of the hearts on white. as a range for a particularly a little girl's bedroom, this is just really beautiful. Your lime greens, your turquoises, your blues, with that classic heart shape. And then you also get 1/2 metre of this raspberry spot, which if I hold these together, you can see. Let me try and get this in a way where you can see it clearly. There's a small spot actually within the hearts itself on this fantasy print. So that there is an absolutely perfect match with that spot on raspberry, but you're also getting 1/2 metre of. Really soft, again 100% cotton, so really easy to work with. That's your hearts on white, again from Makower. So that's your cushion kit. So there's the bunting kit, the cushion kit. Then what else can we have in a bedroom? Well, we've also got this waste paper bin. So again, this is your hearts fabric, but on a slightly different background, on a grey, sort of a violety grey actually. It's got a nice sort of purple feel to that. A really lovely waste paper bin. So in the kit, you're getting the actual, the bin itself. It's a nice big bin. You just need to add the fabric to that. So you'd need 1/2 metre to cover it. And we've got some other fabrics from the fantasy range, which I'll show you. So this is $13.95 for the bin itself. In fact, I'll show you those fabrics now so you can see the options, maybe if your imagination's firing. So this is the selection. I'll start actually with that hearts fabric that we had on the bin. So there's this one here. So this is your fantasy hearts on grey. To my eye, it's definitely moving towards, it's got a lilac-y feel to that grey. I'll open this out so you can see it. This collection just works so well together. The colours have all been matched really beautifully. Really nice. Again, this is a metre, and we sell it in 1/2 metre increments, so it's $5.95 per 1/2 metre. But all those lovely little spots on the hearts themselves. Some are solid, and some are just, an outline of your heart there. All different directions. Really lovely for the cushion, but also, you've got the bin there. We've also got a lampshade, but there are so many things that you could do with this. This would make a lovely little rucksack or a bag for, taking to dancing lessons, to ballet lessons or something like that. Or you could have a satchel for school or a book bag. The possibilities are endless. So that's the fantasy hearts on grey background. That's if you ordered a 1/2 metre, 1 unit, you'd get that much fabric. So what else do we have to match with that? We've also got Fantasy Scenic on white, which is this one with castles on it. So again, that lovely magical princessy feel for a little girl. This would be lovely for pillows or soft furnishings in a bedroom, or curtains even. If you can add, and they work. So I'll show you them together in a minute so you really get to see how those colours are working. But your unicorns there, those playful unicorns. Your clouds and rainbows and hearts and stars. And then that classic sort of castle shape with the turrets there up to the top. I'm just going to show you that with the hearts there so you can see how those colours work together. If you see, the background of this grey fabric is exactly the same as those castles in this Fantasy Scenic on white. So you can mix and match that to create something beautiful. So that's Fantasy Scenic on white background, HPMY08. Again, $5.95 per 1/2 metre. These are always really popular when they're on the show. They go super quick, I think, just because I think you look at them and you're automatically just inspired for, particularly for perhaps a gift for a granddaughter or a daughter or any child. It doesn't have to be a girl. There's just so many options and possibilities. So Helen sent us a message. Oh, thank you. Helen says that is a perfect presenter. Oh, that's so thank you so much. It's honestly so lovely to hear all of your messages on social media and here on the show. It makes such a difference, like a genuine difference. It's really, really lovely to hear from you, so thank you. I'm not getting emotional. Poor producer Paul's saying you're getting emotional. Now, this one, this one here is your panel. So this has got, I'll open this out so you can see the whole thing. That's it. I think this is 60 centimetres. Yeah, you get 60 centimetres of this. So rather than your ½ metre, it's cut as a panel. So you make sure that you're covering and getting all of these oblongs, squares and rectangles. You can see this definitely in a child's bedroom. But you've got here a unicorn and your stars with those turquoises. Then you've got flowers. This would be lovely. You could just fussy cut that and add that, you know, applique it to a cushion, a doorstop, a quilt. Actually, a quilt would look really lovely in this. Then you've got your rainbows here and your lovebirds. That's really sweet, isn't it? I like that one. You could also, you could even use this for a little pencil case or something like that for school, particularly these oblongs. If I move this up, you can see here. You could make a nice little pencil case out of that. With a panel, it gives you the freedom to cut. You know, there's so many different ways you could cut that and use it for different things. And also at the bottom, I'm just going to show you, you've got this really lovely heart strip. So not only your selvage with your colours, but you've got all of your colours there, which is perfect if you want to, you know, trim something just to finish it off. In fact, that would look really lovely round the top of the bin. If you cut that off, so if you can see here, if I just lay that so you can see the hearts there, you can just see all of those colours working. So again, this is one of those fabrics where the more you look, the more different panels you see. So there's, you know, it's not repeated. You've got all different things. So you've got trees in different colour combinations. Here looking at more of an orange with some avocado greens and steely greys and turquoises. Those nice, I mean, some of these as well. You could definitely use these for more of a male project, you know, for a little boy. There's some nice star ones here. That are, you could make like a little badge out of that, or lots of. I definitely think a bag would be lovely out of this one. And panels great as well for, you know, for a blanket or a quilt for the bed. You could even cut all of these out actually and have these all as little separate squares. And Velcro them onto like a messenger board or something like that, or a notice board. You could have them and you could move them all around. You don't have. You could have those as little movable, like an art and crafts project. So your next one. Oh, I like this one. I think this is raindrops. I'm going to open this all the way out. Yes, fantasy raindrops. That's it. So this is a metre here of the fantasy raindrops. And once you come in closer, you can really see it's that teardrop shape of a classic raindrop. We've had so much rain at the moment. I hate it. It's May. It's meant to be nice and sunny. But as we come in, you can really see that you've got sort of apricot teardrops there, a lime green, a darker green. If you're kitting out a bedroom, this is really, really lovely with any of those other fabrics. You can see just how those colours working really well together. Because you've got that white background as well, you could even use this just for bias binding or something like that to finish off a project really neatly and give that professional finish. But all of those teardrops there just dropping down the fabric. And I'll show you the colour spectrum that you can just see on the selvage. You can see that there. So we've actually got 10 different colours. If I move this up, 10 different colours on that selvage there. So that's the Fantasy Raindrops on white, RIMY82. So if you missed, at 9 o'clock we had a Joel Dewberry hour, which was looking at all different fabrics that were also cut to measure. And with these fabrics, they're cut off the bolt, so they're cut to however much you need and require. So if you wanted 2 metres, that would be 4 units of fabric. If you wanted 5 metres, that would be 10 units of fabric. And it arrives in a lovely sewing quarter box like this, that's it's the sort of thing that you can't wait to get open when it arrives. It's not like getting it, you know, stuffed in an envelope or anything like that. It's a really nice box with that sewing quarter branding on it there, and also your nice tissue paper and a sticker. A great way as well if you want to, you know, if you're buying it as a gift for somebody, if it's delivered like that, you don't need to have it sent to you first to wrap, because that's almost like a gift box in itself. You could send that straight to them, saves you the job. So that's our raindrops one there that we just looked at. And then the last one, that's bothering me. Let's tidy it up. That panel one. Then our last one is a stripe. So again, this would be great for boys and girls. So this is a multi-stripe fabric. I'll open it up so you can see that linear design going all the way through. Do you know what though? There's actually nothing, this would be really nice, I think, just for, not for children, but for a garden. If you wanted to make placemats for the table for the summer, you know, dinner mats or anything like that. It's got a sort of a candy sweets type feel to that, hasn't it? I think because of the colours and all different variations in the width of the strips there. SQMY85, that's your strips one. So these are all of our fantasy fabrics from the Fantasy range by Makower. Meant to be mystical, magical. We know at home you like this to match, you like it to tie in and to, you know, to work so it's pleasing on the eye. You don't want to team that with a solid that doesn't quite match up because it doesn't give you that professional finish. So we've got two solids in this hour that have been matched tonally, so those hues tie in really well. If you wanted to edge something, perhaps add a pocket to the inside of a bag or any detail. So we've got the fuchsia pink here. So this is only £3.25 per half metre. That rich uniform colour that's completely solid. KAMY48. That's your fuchsia. I'll just show you that with some of the other fabrics so you can see. That's with your raindrops there, that the fuchsia matches really well. And then in the stripe, you can see that pink too. All of those pinks. Then your other solid option is the spearmint. Let's fold that one up. So this one here, again, if you know you're trying to make it slightly more masculine, this might be a really good way to do it in your turquoise, lovely turquoise there. This one, if I show you the panel fabric next to it, you can see here those turquoises matching in. This panel fabric's really popular. Remember, it comes as one 60cm panel, so you're getting all of those squares and rectangles there. I'll hold it up like that. So you get that whole panel rather than a half metre increment on this one only, just because it's much better for it to be cut as a panel rather than, you wouldn't want half of a tree or half of a flower or a star when it's printed in that way. So £6.95 for that one, FVMY84. Is that the most popular one at the moment, Producer Paul? Oh, the bunting's really popular. We'll go back to that in a second. So just to show you what you can do with some of those fabrics, we've got some different things that we've made on the show before. So we've got, you can see there, this lampshade kit. Now it's for the actual lamp, the lampshade itself, obviously not the main body of the lamp. You just need to add the fabric to it. I might just grab that actually. Can I take? Okay, let me show you. So you can see that one there has got that fantasy, the unicorns, and we've used the castle print there. So this is a 30cm drum used on that particular lampshade. So it will arrive to you like this. You just need to add your fabric, and it's half a metre of fabric, so not a lot at all, just one unit of any of those fantasy prints I just showed you. Again, you could use that, you could hang it as a light or also use it as a lamp. And this one's 30 centimetres. So you could use it as a pendant, you know, if it's hanging from the ceiling, like this one here, or as a lamp itself. Actually, I think you need a metre. Let me just check that. You do. You need a metre for this one. So the lamp is a metre for the 30 centimetre lampshade. I'll show you the actual lamp itself. Shall I grab? We've got a picture on the screen. I'll just show you so you can see it once more. That's in that fantasy unicorns and castles, that lovely one there, which I think is on the bottom of your screen, fantasy scenic. What a great way to jazz up a bedroom. And also, I think as well, it's you know, it allows you to, if you wanted to mix and match all of these fabrics, you can do that collection in any way you want. You know, you could have cushions, you could have it all in one fabric. So you could use that fantasy scenic and create cushions, lampshades, storage bins and caddies, anything like that, all in one fabric. Or you could go, you know, you could go a bit wild and mix and match them up and have, because they just work so well together. There's no fear that it's going to look like it clashes or doesn't have a running theme through it. Really beautiful. Now, the bunting we mentioned has been really popular. It's been on air all day because we've had it hanging up. I'll head over so you can see it, actually. Let's have a look. So I'll move this bin. Before I show you that bunting, I'm actually just going to show you the lamp in real life. So here it is. You can see there it's really cool. I think once the light's switched on as well, it would look really lovely. Just give it that extra touch. But you can see there all of that print. I think it's quite a joyful fabric. It's really playful and just makes you smile. Really, really gorgeous. So that's your 30 centimetre drum that you can see there on the lamp. Again, as I said, you could hang it if you wanted to from the ceiling. $14.95, and it is a metre, just to correct from before. It's a metre of fabric, so 2 units. That's the fantasy scenic there, or whatever one you like the look of. So I mentioned the bunting. Here it is, you can see there, hanging across our studio. We have this usually up in our office. We're all a fan of this fabric. Makes you happy when you come in the morning. So you get 16 pennants, so 16 of those flags all hanging down there in all of those different designs. I don't think there are any that are doubled up. No, they're all different. They're all completely different. I can't see any. There's a colour, so there are a couple of designs that are the same, but the colourways are different. So no 2 that are exactly identical, which is really nice. So if it depends, you know, if you're you can hang that around at the top of a window, or you could hang it around the bottom of a bed, or around the wall, anywhere like that. Or a table, if you're out in the garden and you've got a children's party, that would be really, really great for that. So I'll show you the panel itself. So again, this is one of those fabrics where you're getting a panel, you're not getting a half metre, just to ensure that you've got all of those triangles there. So there are 16 panels. And also you can see here it's been printed on this navy polka dot. You're not even going to use that. You're just going to cut out the panels. So really lovely that they've gone to the trouble of even... Actually, can we go back a tiny bit? This looks like a Union Jack. Can you see? You could cut that. If you didn't want to do bunting, there's like a mystical Union Jack. But you've got all different colours there as you come through. If you just see that bottom. Oh, I like this one. A nice grey with a classic pink there and a polka dot. Your rainbows. Also, I don't know if you can see if I turn, but like the raindrop fabric I showed you before, this is an example of where it comes in. That's what those raindrops look like. You can just see those there. And then again, those hearts that are in the heart fabric all coming through in this one too. So 16 flags on the panel itself. And then we've teamed that with a solid, which you can use for the backing of your bunting, like you can see here. All of these have just been backed, really easy to make, really straightforward. You can even make these with children, you know, as a project at the weekend or something like that. It would be a really great way to keep them entertained and for them to feel like they've had a bit of a go making it. So this is your solid here, which is your fuchsia. You're getting a metre of this. That nice, bright, solid pink there. Really lovely. This panel's really popular. The bunting the bunting's just, I think it's a really nice way to add an extra touch to a room. Even if a room's finished, this is a way to add a little extra splash of colour, isn't it? It always surprises me how many options there are for bunting. When we had a bunting book on the show recently, and lots of clever designs with adding pockets or lights and details and things like that. So that's your bunting kit. Also comes with 2 Gutermann threads. So you've got a navy and a white there, which you can see just are going to work with that bundle. So everything you need there to make the bunting. So HLGC21, and that's $15.95 for your bunting kit. Let's just have a look at a closer look at some of those designs. Your unicorn there, your rainbow and clouds and raindrops. So, you know, perhaps if you're having a summer party or something like that, you could hang it around the table. A village fete, something like that, you know, it'd be perfect for a school fete, perhaps if you still have one of those. I used to love our school fete when I was at school. We had with all the little tombola and the different stalls and the raffles and the talent show. I hope that still happens in schools. I think they do, summer fetes. So then we had we did the light. Producer Paul's just telling us that the other day someone was 26 and he had, for his birthday, she had a cake that looks just like the castle. She had it all made beautifully up like a princess castle. So clever, some of the things people make out of cake now. Really quite incredible. So we've looked at the lamp, we've looked at the bunting. I'll show you the cushions now. So it's this hearts cushion here. You can see this is the finished made-up one. So you've got that heart print on white. You can see that there. Oh, these have got lovely little extra hearts appliqued on there. And then on the back, if I turn it here, you can see that spot-on raspberry. A lovely rich raspberry there. So you're getting, for $14.95, you're getting the cushion pad, so the inner of the cushion, which is 14 inches. Then you're getting 1/2 metre of this, which is the fantasy hearts on white. And you've got enough there on that particular cushion that's been made. They've cut out additional hearts and appliqued them on, so you've got that extra texture, which is really lovely. A nice selection there of pinks, blues, greens, oranges as well, with your solid and filled in. So this is our fantasy bedroom hour. If you've just joined us, we've got lots of magical options to kit out someone's bedroom with for a little princess's bedroom, whether that's with lampshades or bins or cushions, working with these fabrics from Makower, their fantasy range. So you've also got 1/2 metre of this spot-on raspberry, which we've used here for the backing of the cushion. You can see that colour there, really vivid with your polka dots. WHGC37 for this cushion kit. We've also, I'll just show you here, they've added some additional detailing on the cushion, which you'd have enough fabric to do, with these sort of daggered edges, which just adds that little bit of extra detail. A nice alternative to binding. And I don't know if you can see, some of these hearts here have got extra, they've been appliqued on just with that bit of extra detail, which is a really, really lovely idea. If we can see here. So that's your cushion pad, your 2 fabrics, and $14.95 for that one. Then we also, I'm going to show you the other pillow the cushion that we had. This isn't the fabric that comes in the bundle, but if you wanted to some extra fabric, you know, if you were making a whole, you know, some scatter cushions for a whole bed or a little sofa or something, this one here is it in that fantasy scenic in white, and teamed with the hearts there in a panel. You can see here just how those fabrics work so well together. And, you know, you could have it this way round. This is the fantasy scenic here. Or maybe you're a bit of a big kid yourself and you just want to relive your childhood and add a bit of something to make you smile. If you're a fan maybe of your Disney films or your princessy things, with the lovely Beauty and the Beast that's just been out recently, and all, there's so much. I think no one really wants to grow up. So you've got that lovely heart there. That's on your grey background. Really nice. I like that a lot. So the other thing that we had was the bin. I'm just going to move the lamp. We've got so many things in this collection. So this is your waste paper bin. Again, just adding the fabric to this. So this item number that's coming up now on your screens is for the bin itself, and you just need to cover it with the fabric of your choice. So you just need to add 1/2 metre to this. You purchase that separately. This one's definitely 1/2 metre. So this is a really nice big bin. There's nothing as well. You don't even have to use this, as a waste paper bin. You could use this for storage. You always need places to keep lots of children's toys and things neat and tidy off the floor. And that, again, is your hearts on a slightly darker background. So ZNDE89, and that's £13.95 for the bin itself. Then you just need to add a fabric for £5.95 if you wanted something from the fantasy range. So talking of fabric, should we head back over there? I don't know what I want to take. What should I take with me? I might take the bunting kit with me. So here's the bunting kit that we just spoke through. I don't know if you've got a graphic. We've got a picture here you can see of the bunting. So that's some slightly different ones there that you might not have seen before. A slightly wider shot with those flowers. £15.95. A great project to do with the children or for the children as a present. Only £15.95, and you get all that whole long length of 16 flags. Great for parties, great for adding some extra enjoyment and to a bedroom. Really, really beautiful. Or if you had a bouncy castle or a little party like a trampoline party or something like that, that would just be a great way to jazz it up a bit. So, fabric. Let's start with the panel. So this has been really popular. Is this one in the lead? Let's have a look. Oh, the Fantasy Scenic one is in the lead. The one from the lamp. I'll show you that again in a moment. So this one here is your panel. It comes as a 60 centimetre panel. So you're going to get full cuts of those squares and rectangles. You're not going to get anything that's sort of chopped in half. All those lovely rainbows, your lovebirds there. Great for fussy cutting. Your mystical unicorn there with its multicoloured tail. Then those little squares there, if you wanted to add an extra detail, you could even cut those out and add them to the cushion. Because those colours all work so well together, these could be appliqued onto the cushion just to add, or you could add one of these as a pocket. There's so many options of things that you could do. I'm going to move this down so you can see some of the others. Different colourways in this panel of the unicorn. So they're in a pink. Oh, I like this one. It's caught my eye. With your little bird in a tree. For a girly girl, this is just absolute heaven. Absolute, everything you could possibly wish for, whether that's stars, hearts, rainbows, birds. And all framed really well in those oblongs and squares as well. And that strip at the bottom that I highlighted before, where you've got all of those hearts, you can just see along there that you could use to edge something, or just to add again. You could cut that as a strip and just put that across the centre of a cushion to break up the main body of the fabric. So that's the fantasy panel, squares and oblongs. It's a 60 centimetre panel. And that's £6.95 for that one there. So the most popular one is the Fantasy Scenic, which we've used on a lampshade. Here it is. You can see that there. Again, great for cushions, for lampshades. You could use that one for the bin. Little pillows or even, an actual bed set itself. You could make a beautiful duvet cover or pillows and things for a bed, or perhaps just a sheet for the bed. Really, or curtains. This would be, you know, would be really lovely for curtains as well. So this one, you've got that fantasy castle there with the turrets and the detail of the windows. Again, your unicorns and your rainbows and clouds. I really like this one. Really lovely. 100% cotton as well, so, you know, really nice and soft and easy to work with. I think a little bag for, a book bag for school would be really nice in this too. If you had your bedroom as well all kitted out, how nice to have a bag. Or even you could have, I looked like we had them, but we don't. But if you have hooks on the wall with bags hanging on them as a storage option, this would be a really great way of, pyjamas. Yes, producer Paul just said pyjamas. That would be lovely. Oh, that's really cute. I like that idea a lot. Really lovely for pyjamas. You could match your bed and your curtains with your pyjamas. Perhaps if your grandchildren are lucky enough to have a bedroom at your house that they get to come and stay at, it would be something for them to look forward to. So we also have the raindrops, which is the next in line in terms of popularity today. If we come in nice and tight, you can see that you've got, it's not a polka dot, it's actually a raindrop there, so that classic droplet shape in all different colours. That nice lime green, your blues, and that's like a burnt orange there. RIMY 82, £5.95 for that one there. And these are, again, in half-metre increments. So if you wanted to do the bin, that was half a metre. If you wanted to do the lampshade, it's a whole metre, so that would be 2 units of fabric. You can see that bin there and the lampshade and cushions peeking out behind. So we've called this fantasy bedroom, but there's nothing to limit it to being that. You know, you could use these fabrics anywhere in the house or for things to take with you. I know as a child I'd have loved a pencil case or a book cover, a notebook cover in any of these fabrics, because it's not going to be like anything your friends have got. You know, it's something a bit different and special. And when it's been made for you, it definitely has it's made with love. So I'll show you the one that we've used for the bin. This is your hearts. Fantasy hearts, but this one is on your grey. But this is a purpley grey. You could even use this as a lining if you're using that fantasy scenic. I'm going to put them next to each other so you can really see. To mix and match. Let's turn it around. You can see those colours there. Just as a perfect set. DKMY09, that's for this one, which is your fantasy heart on a grey background, but it's a purpley grey. It's sort of leaning towards a lilac, that one there. And with the raindrops, I mean, if I put the raindrops in next to it, again, that one working really well because you've got the little pin dots on the hearts, this raindrop tying in well. And your panels. I'm going to show you them next to each other so you can really sort of see how these work as a family of fabrics, really. If we put that like that, I don't know if you can see just how those colours all come together. If I move the panel down a bit, that colour scheme. Really, really lovely. So the panel is £6.95, £5.95 for the hearts one, which is this main one here. Then we also had a stripe. Let's have a look at the stripy one. This is a bit like a candy print, or this would be quite good for blinds in a bedroom actually, or curtains. Something a bit less patterned in terms of pictures. It's obviously much more linear and just straight. More of an adult feel even to this one, you know, if you wanted to add a splash of colour to a master bedroom or a lounge or a conservatory. Different widths in your stripes there. And you could put that with a solid. So that one on your screens there is the multi-stripe SQMY85, again £5.95 per half metre. All of these are cut to measure. And again, you only pay £2.95 per day postage and packaging here at Sewing Quarter. So if you've not bought anything before and you're thinking of buying something or you saw something earlier that you'd bought, you won't be charged twice. It'll be capped at midnight. Also, if you've not bought anything from Sewing Quarter, let me see if I've got one. I have. If you're brand new to Sewing Quarter, welcome, lovely to have you here with us, or perhaps you've not bought anything before, and say you bought the bunting kit today, if you spend over £10 and your first purchase, you get this free Sewing Quarter sewing kit. So we send this to you. What's inside? Let's have a look. Oh, upside down, you can see here. So you've got 12 different threads. That pink, actually, perfect. Absolutely perfect with this solid that we're working with. And then you've also got all of your essentials. So a seam ripper, safety pins, scissors, tape measures, buttons, all different options there. Great to just take away with you if you're going to a sewing class or a workshop, perhaps you're going to an exhibition or you're travelling somewhere, you know, on a train, or you're going in the car. This is just a really neat, simple way to transport it. And a nice little welcome gift from us to you. So that's worth £14.95 if you spend over £10 on your first order. So I also mentioned we had some solids so that, that will work really well with those patterned fabrics. We've matched these for you. We've taken the time to look at the colours and make sure that they match up. So the hard work's done if you wanted to use this for a backing or a binding. So I'll start with this one. This is your Fuchsia uniform colour. KAMY 48 is your number for that one. And then we've also got spearmint. Let's open this one. Let's open that like that. So you can see this one here. A lovely turquoisey green, really bright and vivid, but also nice and fresh. Again, picking out certain elements within that. So if I show you here in the hearts bundle, if you look at that turquoise heart there, that is an absolutely perfect colour match to the Spectrum solid that's on your screens, the spearmint green here, working really, really, really well with that. £3.25, KDMY 90 for your spearmint. So, we've also got some rickrack, which is a really lovely way to add some extra detail to a project, some extra embellishment. We've got two pink options in this mystical princessy hour. I'll start with the slightly darker pink one here. You get so much in here. You get 25 metres of rickrack, which is perfect, you know, for fringing things. You could edge a cushion with it, or a quilt, or a blanket. Even your curtains, you could, you know, edge the end of the bottom of a blind with rickrack. Oh, around the top of your bin or the edge of your lampshade as well. That would look really nice. So this is your cerise pink rickrack. £12.95 for 25 metres. That is a lot of rickrack. I won't open it because I'll never get it wrapped back up again, but that is a lot of rickrack. And that there, if I show you with one of the patterned fabrics, let's look at that Fantasy Scenic. This is really popular. You can see how that rickrack there would just add some extra, that pink. It also brings out the pink in the fabric itself. It's making that colour really pop. You'll see the difference. So if you want to, you know, really bring out the colour and make it pop, there's a darker one. Or perhaps you want to tone it down a little bit or give it a softer feel. Then we have a slightly paler pink. So again, 25 metres of this, so much rickrack, great for your stash. One of those things that once you've got it in your cupboard, I'm sure you'll use it for endless projects. So this one is simply called pink. It's a much softer baby pink. Really lovely for a nursery. But if you pop that with this fabric, with the Fantasy Scenic, it changes the shade slightly. It gives it a softer feel. It's almost calming it down, making that unicorn look a little bit softer compared to when you put it with the cerise pink rickrack. But £12.95, that's so much rickrack for £12.95. RHGQ86, 25 metres in either pink or cerise, two different colour options there. So we also have got a couple of threads here, which you can team with the fabric, so really focusing on those pinks and turquoises. This is a pastel set here, first of all. So this is the Summer Loft Gutermann thread pack. You get 7 different threads in here, focusing on your greens, blues and pinks. We actually had this in the previous hour. $8.95 for those 7 threads. Again, I know I keep bringing them in, but just to show you how these colours are working, say with the raindrops there, the raindrops is really popular. It's moving forward, edging forward. You can see those colours there, how they just work together. $8.95 for that Gutermann thread pack. I'll show you that with the panel one as well, just so you can see the colour. Again, this one's popular too in this hour. $6.95 for the 60 centimetre panel, and then your threads here, your Summer Loft thread pack. Colour-wise, if you want to just see how those are working, those pinks really working particularly well. Obviously your whites, which you always need, but tonally, just a really good match. That pastel paisley sort of feel to it. Or if you want to, again, like we were saying about the rickrack, make the colours pop, then we've got a more bold selection of threads here in this pack, which is a slightly darker one. This one is called French Cottage. What an unusual name. So you've got here more of a burnt orange, like a bronzy colour. A lovely green, a blue, a grey. And then your nice dark sort of indigo here and a pink. This one working really well with the panel as well. If you see these, if you just see that colour spectrum, you can see how those tie in really well together. The pink matching the unicorn there. If anything's in your basket, please don't sort of risk missing out. If you do want to buy it, make sure you check right through to the end. You can check out as many times as you like throughout the day, and you'll only be charged 1 lot of postage and packaging. So I don't want you to miss out, if you want the panel, or it's just to secure your items and make sure that you've got them, because this fantasy fabric is always really popular when we have it on the show. So let's have a look at we looked at that panel, the bunting panel. So this is to create your 16 flag bunting. Again, if you wanted to multi-buy and make 32, so you've got a really long length of bunting, perhaps for a special occasion, nothing's stopping you doing that. Great for the outdoors or for a bedroom. But you can see all of these really lovely different designs. No 2 are the same. There's some different sort of colourways where they've been flipped around, but none of the designs are identical. These are 16 different flags here. On that polka dot background, which you're not even going to need if you're making the bunting from it, but you're getting those flags. I think these are 10-inch, these triangles, each one. So it's quite a sizable bunting. It's not sort of a really minuscule one. You can see it. If I put the rickrack, I was just going to show the bunting over here quickly so you can see it hanging up. It's a nice sort of large pennant. It's not like a little diddly one. And then on the back of that, you've also got this Spectrum Solid that comes in that bunting kit. So we've teamed that up in a bunting kit today. So you've got the panel itself with all 16 designs ready for you to cut out. You've got your backing fabric in that lovely bright pink fuchsia. And then you've also got 2 Gutermann threads in there as well, so a navy and a white for whether you want to, if you want, this particular one has been stitched all the way around just to add that extra detail around the flags, and then a top stitch on that main strip that they're all hanging from. So that's $15.95 for your bunting kit. And you could actually add the rickrack to that to edge the flags. I would probably go for the darker pink for this. If you pop that, I don't know if you can see, it's quite tricky with it in the packet there, but if you can see how the pink complements really well with the dark pink that's there. But also if you add it to something like the grey, you've got the raindrops there, the pink raindrops that match the rickrack. Again, in the castle, this rickrack's going to go a really long way. You'd easily manage to do all of these flags with 25 metres. Again, in your lovely castle there, that pink working well. Or if you went for the lighter pink, This one would work well here with your flowers and stars. And I like the light pink with the turquoise, actually. That's a nice combination of colour. HLGC21, really popular, the bunting kit. If it's in your basket, make sure you just check it out so that you're not adding any sort of undue pressure, but if it's something that you want, make sure that you've clicked right through to the end. Because, well, once it's made, it's something, if you don't keep it out in a bedroom, it's something you can just always get out if you've got, you know, a little party or something. Or if you've got, you know, a granddaughter or daughters, you can have a princess-themed party, which is so popular. I don't think that's ever going to go out of fashion. Princesses are always going to appeal to little girls. And that's your solid there, if I didn't show you, that you can use for the backing. Lovely. So the lampshade kit, I'll show you that. This is the 30-centimetre lampshade kit. So you add a metre of fabric to this, and you can either hang it as a lamp, as a light here from the ceiling, or you can have it how we've got it on an actual, you know, a lamp stand as a bedside light would be perfect. We've teamed that there with the Fantasy Scenic. So you need a metre of fabric, 2 units, and that's the 30-centimetre drum, VTDE61, and that's $14.95. Just add a metre of fabric to that to create your light. A really, you know, a fairly straightforward project, but something really satisfying. I think when your light switched on as well, it would just add an extra dimension to it. So we'll look at the Fantasy Scenic, as it's still the most popular, still in the lead. Lots of multi-buying. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you're enjoying the show this morning. We had, if you've only just tuned in, we had Janis on with us this morning, and we made some really cute dungarees that were perfect for a baby or a young child. And we also made a sewing organiser for a sewing room, so you can always whiz back on YouTube and have a look at what we did if you want to look at those projects. The replays will be up very shortly. Let's turn this one around. So our most popular in this hour, Fantasy Scenic from Makower. We've used it on that lampshade. I think it's the most popular probably because there's so much in it. There's so much detail there. I'm going to grab the cushion actually that's made of this so you can see it made in something else. But because of all those different details within it, you feel like you're getting a lot of pattern for your money for $5.95. So this is it made up in a cushion you can see here. Oh, I love a cushion. A really lovely scatter cushion for a bed. You can see that there, that print. This as well, though, there's nothing stopping this being used for clothes. This would make a really gorgeous little outfit, a little skirt or something like that, or a dress. And we said pyjamas earlier as well would be a really lovely addition for, you know, just to pop under your pillow, to match your pillow. That would be really, really, I'd have loved that when I was a little girl. So if you had the, maybe you could team this fabric with a solid, you know, like your fuchsia. You could create a panel on a cushion with a solid as well. I'll show you that one. So this Spectrum solid there, this is $3.25 per half metre. You can just see how that works with, it brings those colours out within the Fantasy Scenic. And that's it there again in your cushion. So if you're wondering what that other fabric is on the cushion, that you've got those pockets there and also on the back, this is your Hearts in Grey, leaning towards a lilac-y grey, in my opinion. So there are, I'll show you this one. We've used this for the bin this morning. We've not put it in the bin, we've made a bin out of it, just to clarify. So you can see, that's here, this is your heart. Look how well they work together. Really lovely. That's your heart fabric, solid and cut out hearts in all of those mystical, magical colours. You can make a little coin purse or something out of that, a toiletry bag, a tote bag, a messenger bag. There are so many possibilities. That Fantasy Scenic, really popular on this morning's show. Lovely. So then, what's next in the lead? What's next in line? My cushion. Raindrops. Oh, the raindrops is in the lead. we've had a change. Raindrops very popular this morning. So this as well is definitely not specific. This doesn't have to be for children in any sense, particularly this raindrops one. This is just perfect for adding colour to anything at all. That classic pendant shape there in the drops itself. A slightly more subtle print in that fantasy range. It's not so busy with patterns and pictures. On a white background there. So that's £5.95 per half metre. RIMY 82 is your number for that one. Thank you to everyone who's joined us today. It's lovely to hear all your messages and hear what you're making and what projects you've got lined up. Everyone's going to be making things out of this. I want to know what people are making out of this panel. What does this inspire you to make? This is the one with all those different options. We mentioned that you could fussy cut these and applique them onto cushions or clothes. There's a bit of a crease in that. You could make a lovely quilt out of that. You could see how, cutting one of these out and putting it on that raindrops, all of a sudden, if you cut that square and put it on the raindrops, that would be really, really... Or you could even Velcro that onto there and have them to move them all around. Or as a little satchel. So lots of different options. The hardest decision, I think, is probably choosing which one you like the most. Whether it's the panel or the scenic or a solid. That collection just really just lovely for a little girl's, particularly for a little girl's room. So we've also got. I'll tell you what's coming up on tomorrow's show. I'll talk you through that so you know what we've got coming up. So at 8 a.m, we've got machine embroidery. That is with me. And also I'm joined tomorrow in that hour with Jane from Elna. Then at 9 o'clock is Editor's Bookshelf. That's with Jenny Fox Proverbs. We're going to be looking at all of her favourite books and again with me. Then at 10 o'clock, we're doing a bit of a swap. Jane's back doing, again, looking at some sewing machine basics, but I'm going to be with Natasha on the 10 o'clock show. And then at 11 o'clock, Jenny Fox Proverbs back for her Editor's Bookshelf Part 2. So that will be Jenny and Natasha. So a really lovely show planned for tomorrow. We're doing, producer Paul's giving me a hard time for a half swap. We're doing a half and half me, half Natasha, with 2 guests on tomorrow. So that's going to be a really lovely morning. So this hour has been Fantasy Bedroom, all about looking at your different unicorn prints, your princess castles, your rainbows, your clouds, your lovebirds, all different things. Then you've also got the Spectrum Solids to team with those. Different options in terms of your thread packs and your rick-racks, and it's just about choosing whichever one works for you. If you want to go back and look, we've got the sewing chair cover that we made in the 10 o'clock show, and at 8 o'clock we made those lovely dungarees with Janis, so you can always go back on YouTube and see those. Just remember, check out your baskets if you've got anything in there. I don't want you to miss out, particularly on those fantasy scenic and the panel. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a lovely afternoon, and I'll see you then.
Sewing Quarter is at the very heart of sewing as we bring you all things sewing and quilting. The team behind us live and breathe sewing day to day. We strive to bring you exclusive offers, exciting live demonstrations, and most importantly, we will custom cut fabric to your specification in our very own cutting room. We will also be bringing you TV exclusives that you won't be able to find anywhere else. So come and join us today at the Sewing Quarter.
Welcome to the Sewing Quarter!